turn around 3 times. Start shooting.
Exclusive black equalizer brightens dark scenes without overexposing bright areas. Use the S switch to quickly access the setting and switch between save modes. Personalize the way you see everything. And then conquer Exclusive black equalizer brightens dark scenes without overexposing bright areas. Use the S switch to quickly access the setting and switch between save modes. Adjust the angle effortlessly for maximum comfort.
Turn around 3 times. Start shooting.
Exclusive black equalizer brightens dark scenes without overexposing bright areas. Use the S switch to quickly access the setting and switch between save modes.
Oh no! Punch! Oh, crap!
All right, good evening, everybody. It's 6:30 p.m. IST, which means it's time for the ESL India Premiership 2017's Day 14's live stream, brought to you by Omen by HP, HyperX, Zowie by BenQ, and organized by Nodwin Gaming. For those who are wondering who I am, well, it's a very simple thing. My name's Vagish Godslayer Bhan, and I'm the guy who's taking you through all the games as they happen one by one during these live streams. So quickly, without wasting any more time, considering this is the final day of the Phase 1 of the summer season of the ESL India Premiership, let's quickly take a look at yesterday's results so far. All right, talking about yesterday's results, we have Deepak Mehudi Mehta versus Haseeb Nazir, which we streamed to you live yesterday during the Clash Royale Best of 5, in which Haseeb Nazir goes home with the win. I mean, this guy is literally, like I said yesterday, pulling off a risky gaming in Clash Royale, unbeaten so far in all of his games he's played. Also, apart from that, off stream, we had a match between Tahir Sharif and Vikram Asopa, which went in Tahir Devil's Twin Sharif's favor with a scoreline of 3-2 in the best of 5 they played. Now, moving on to Dota 2, we had 3C4DA versus Aggressive 5 having a showdown, which absolutely went in the favor of the aggressors. Very bad joke, but the Aggressive 5 team. Alright, so they had a scoreline of 32-4 in their favor, and they went back home with the glory and the accolades. In this game, the match win. Okay, moving on, apart from that, we had a match off stream between Entity Esports and Team XRG, which by default, had to go into Entity Esports' favor. Come on, they're fielding some top-class players there. They've got a Bing there in the team. That guy is from Clutch Gamers. We at Esports Center, back when we do the Esports Center, we talk about this guy and his team. So, considering how the talent is, this was not a surprise. Now, moving on to its Counter-Strike Global Offensive, we had a match streamed between Team Wolf and Entity Esports, which went in the favor of Entity Esports with a scoreline of 16-8. That's what the final scoreline read. Whereas off-stream, we had a match between Elements and Team Brutality, which was a close one. And sadly, or rather, in this case, like, how would I say, happily, Team Brutality capped it off with a win in their favor, 16-14, the scoreline in favor of Team Brutality. Now, before moving on, let's quickly take a quick look at the leaderboard for Clash Royale. Alright, talking about the Masters League in Clash Royale here at the ESL India Premiership 2017, we have none other than Haseeb Iqbal Nazir with 18 points, 6 matches in his kitty, all 6 as registered wins, whereas following closely behind is Mrin Lakar with a deficit of 3 points. That's what he's trailing behind Haseeb with 15 points in his kitty, 6 matches played, out of which 1 is a loss at the hands of Haseeb itself, and he's got 5 matches as wins. More than that, I mean, this guy is a seeded player globally. Him being second shows how serious the competition has gotten in the ESL India Premiership 2017. Alright, on the third position, we have Tahir Devil's Twin Sharif with 15 points. 7 matches played, out of which 2 are registered losses and 5 wins so far. In the fourth position, we have Vikram Asopa with 9 points, 6 matches played, 3 wins, 3 losses. Now let's quickly head over to the other side of the page towards the Challenger League, where again in Clash Royale we have some very interesting results. We have Jimit Bhatt with 21 points in all the 7 matches he's played. None of them are registered losses. All 7 are victories for Jimit here, who is followed closely by Arpan Christian on the second position with 15 points in his kitty, 7 games played, 5 wins, 2 losses. Now, Ruben Dicunia with 15 points follows after Arpan on the third position with 15 points in his kitty, 6 matches played, out of which only 1 is a loss. Now, on the fourth position, we have Jatin JB Bagoria with 12 points. He's got 6 matches down under, 2 as losses and 4 as wins. Now, let's quickly take a look at the players having a showdown in the Clash Royale Best of 5 today. Alright, talking about the game today, the game of Best of 5 of Clash Royale between these 2 amazing players. Well, we have none other than Haseeb Nazir versus Vikram Asopa. Now, let's give you a lowdown about Haseeb Nazir. Now, he has mentioned when he joined in the fray that he's been playing the game on hard mode ever since he's joined. He's progressed to the competitive level without the need of purchasing gems. He's the only player so far to have been able to beat our last year Masters 2016's champion Mrin Lakar. He is currently unbeaten in this tournament. He's got a clean slate so far, no losses registered. He's leading the ranking table after he's won all of his matches which he's played. He's looking to finish his summer phase 1 campaign with a 100% win rate against his name, which is ambitious, and that's what I like about gamers. Gamers should have the ambition to go ahead outside of the comfort zones to give that hardcore battle. Now, facing him is Vikram Asopa. He's based out of Coimbatore, is studying his BBA. He's been playing Clash Royale since the start. Now, he played at the ESL India Premiership Challenger 2 last year. He's also played in the 2016 Masters of ESL India Premiership last year. He was one of the top players there. Now, he's currently placed 4th in the ESL India Premiership 2017 Clash Royale Master League, and now a win will not help him improve his standings, but a heavy loss will definitely push him down the ranking table. Now, apart from this game, we have one more game off stream happening in a best of 5 of Clash Royale, or not. Okay, I was misinformed. We don't have a best of 5 Clash Royale happening. This is the game which is happening today for you during the live stream here on the day 14 of ESL India Premiership 2017. Brought to you by Omen, by HP, Zowie, by BenQ, and HyperX, organized by Nordwind Gaming. Also remember, guys, the registrations for the Phase 2 are open as we speak. There is going to be a promotion relegation match over the course of the weekend. But for now, if you want to participate in the Phase 2, go ahead. The link should be on the screen. You should be able to follow it to the page where you got to register for the games you want to participate in so that you can be a part of the ESL India Premiership 2017. And once again, high five, virtual high five, whatever digital virtual high five is like I would like to put forward to the people who are watching us on the Facebook page of ESL India, the YouTube gaming channel of ESL India Premiership. Welcome everybody. This is the final day of showdowns where scores definitely now matter considering promotion relegation is just around the corner. So let's quickly head on to Clash Royale best of 5.
Falling on the ground, long day but we won't back down. One thing playing on our minds, long wait but we won't give up now. You crave the love I gave and we'll do it again. A cold night getting warmer now, the ground shakes as our love gets loud. Champions of the night. We are the champions of the night. Yeah. We are the fighting type, the ones that burn so bright. We are the champions of the night. Champions of the night. Can't tell. Can't tell if we're dreaming now. We watch as the fire falls down. One thing playing on our minds. Time stops and we don't make a sound. You crave the love I gave, and we'll do it again. A cold night getting warmer now. The ground shakes as our love gets loud. I'm ready to love. We're the champions of the night. I'm ready to love.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back with some crazy casting here. In game one, we were not able to hear us for some technical reason. I think the wire shifted or something and the mic disconnected immediately. So let's hope that doesn't happen again. But we are in game two of Asopa versus Haseeb. Keep in mind, Haseeb has not lost a single match till date, and I'm not expecting him to lose another match.
I don't think so. He's playing the same deck. Apparently, he hasn't changed his deck throughout all the matches. And I mean, if I was the opponent, I would definitely take some advantage of that. His main win condition seems to be Golem, and he's certainly played that right now with Valkyrie coming out to defend this.
And the thing is, I think he did take out his Elixir Collector. I missed that while I was switching around with the multiple.
No, so he did. He played that, and the standard, he does not seem to have his Lightning in rotation going. Is the Inferno Tower comes down to counter Haseeb's big push, and Haseeb usually plays out Lightning just immediately. I don't know if he's removed the Lightning. I highly doubt that, but I think he just didn't have it. And okay, over here we see Asopa's win condition. We didn't get to see it last game at all. It's Minor with the Ram, and he gets the tower. That was good play by Asopa.
And he's actually countering this because, these players are smart. They know what to do. And if the same deck is being thrown at them the whole season, this is 14 days of season. And I can finally see some players are smart enough to
this is the
counter.
first, last game,
there we go.
This is a much better deck, I think. Last game, actually, Asopa played a crossbow deck, and he got demolished, honestly. It was not pretty to watch. And I think I don't think Haseeb has changed his deck at all. There's the Golems, the Minions, the Evids. There's a Poison. That's a good counter. I don't know if Haseeb took out the lightning though. It does seem to be so because he hasn't played twice now, and it would be a good counter to the Inferno Order.
I don't know what he's waiting for. He should have it in his rotation by now.
Yeah, of course. I mean, if he has it, like if he has it in his deck, it would be in his hand.
But he's placing his units very aggressively. Baby Dragon is able to not tank any of the hits there. So the laser tower is now finally
the lightning comes out now. I think maybe he was just waiting for Mahara. No idea, man.
The Morris came through, lightning comes down, and the thing is, laser tower, Inferno tower needs to be placed in a particular position because he follows it up with the lightning, and remember that he also puts out the electro visit behind it.
No, but he's placing the lightning really well because he's avoiding the king tag not activated, and that helps him get extra damage down. Okay, and
but considering the aggro range of the rock golem, you can actually do like a 4-2 plant.
You can actually kite the golem around for a long. And again, we see Asopa's like win condition, and that's about it. He took the game. I think it's the first game somebody's taken.
Yeah, keep talking.
All right, and I think we're going to move into game 3, going in with 1-1. A better play coming out of Asopa this game, and I think a better deck as well.
Yeah, and you know what it is? It's right after the first game, Asopa realized that nothing's gonna change. And that Haseeb is gonna push through with the same cards. And remember, yesterday's game, all 5 games, they went to best of 5. And yesterday's game, they were not able to. Haseeb did not change his card, and Mehudi yesterday did respond accordingly, but still ended up losing in the 5th game.
Oh, that's close. No, but I think definitely much better play coming out of Asopa. Much happier seeing this deck. The last game just was a stomp. It wasn't really pretty.
And now we're just waiting for the 3rd game to come out, and this is going to be quite interesting.
I think the 3rd game will have them playing the same decks. I don't think either of them are going to change decks because that was a close game. I would like to see Haseeb cast his lightning a little sooner maybe and get his push sort of going. Okay, I think Asopa is coming out with the Hawk Cycle deck.
And this again is and a heal.
Yeah, and okay. This is basically a new phenomenon. I guess he might be running the 3 Musketeers as well, or maybe Loon or something like that. But it's basically a cheese deck, really. I mean, you just get a sort of big push going. You try to heal through that damage. That's basically the deck.
Well, I'm waiting for what units he has in store. He does have the Inferno Tower and does the 3-2 plant in it, and immediately these minions are coming in to stop.
Again, I'm not seeing the lightning.
Lightning should be coming out. He just doesn't have the elixir at the moment. He also sometimes uses the E-Wizard, which he has.
Exactly.
And which actually counters pretty well.
Yeah, it's not bad. Okay, but it does reset the tower for the damage. And we see Skelly being played by both.
But good defense, I would say. Good defense coming out of Asopa. They are able to hold that big push.
Yeah, it was. But Haseeb did get some chip damage off, so right now the match is slightly in his favor. They have the same. And we have the Bandit coming out. This is a new legendary. And she's invulnerable by charging. But, I mean, he did get some good damage off. I mean, the minions were played, but Asopa does have a massive elixir advantage right now. We see the Hawk coming out, targeting the elixir collector to try to remove the advantage Haseeb can get from that. And if it gets one, no, it does not. Oh, the heal coming out slightly too late by Asopa. The golems did get played, and Haseeb is going to be building another push.
Yeah, same push again, over and over again till it does.
Inferno is. So I don't know. I don't know if he's going to play the lightning or the Evis this time. He is certainly setting up. Okay, he plays the baby dragon and the lightning. There it is, and the Skelly.
It's that's his basically go-to combo.
Yeah, that's basically that's his.
And then followed up with the E-Wizard. He's going to make sure that his push doesn't get
This is going to be a good push. Log does come out, but is it too late?
And a lot of damage.
A counter log does come out, but doesn't get much value. It just gets the chip damage.
And now 30 seconds on the clock. Do you think he'll be able to accomplish anything?
I don't think so, because he has defended his lane pretty well. Even the log coming out, I think again it's just too late. He plays the Inferno Tower, but we saw exactly what happens to this on the other side, and I think it's just going to mirror itself again. The Ice Spirit, the minions, no lightning this time. I guess he couldn't cycle it fast enough. But the Evis is again a good enough counter. He plays the Hog. He tries to get damage off, but nothing, and the game goes to Haseeb again. That was a much closer match, I feel, though. Asopa maybe slipping up with his play. But I think Asopa shouldn't have tried a strategy change over there.
But think about this. Haseeb is like a brick wall, refuses to change.
Really? And he takes the games. I mean, you know what he's going to do. You've seen it before. You don't have to just fall into the same trap again and again. I don't know what I mean. And Asopa, if something worked for you, just do it again, right? That's what Haseeb is doing. Why are you trying to be fancy and cool?
It's you know exactly what his deck is. You know exactly the cards he has. I remember the cards right now. Like
You
how
could
many games I've
literally
cast.
build a card for card counter for his deck and just play that because you know that's what he's going to queue with.
Yeah.
He's not changing. I mean, you can see.
Now I had some strong claims the other day where I was saying the Hog Cycle deck that I have would be a great counter to this because of the low elixir cost and Hog Cycling. If he's
We
sending
did see
you,
sort of a Hog cycle come out. I mean, he did keep some of the bigger cards. It wasn't really a cycle.
yeah, but a low elixir Hog Cycle would do the trick. What do you think?
I'm not so sure because, I mean, he does have quite a few counters for the Hog. He can play out the Skellies. He can play out the Ewiz. He has the Elixir Collector as well. And that actually happened a few times this game. The Elixir Collector was played. And so because of that, the Hog couldn't exactly go for the towers. So that was like sort of a soft counter. So I'm not sure. Maybe, yeah, true Hog Cycle deck with just cheap aggro stuff being played could win.
Asopa is taking some sweet time right now.
He
I think
is.
he's going through something in his mind.
I think Asopa's having an awakening finally.
Yeah, so let's wait. He's finally sent out the friendly battle request. And let me just give them a go ahead.
I think Asopa is going to go back to his the deck he played with the game before this one.
So it's 2-0 now in favor of Haseeb. Remember,
No,
guys.
it's 2-1.
Sorry, 2-1. Sorry,
Yes.
2-1 in favor of Haseeb. Haseeb not lost a single best of 5 so far. He's even beat Marin actually. Marin who
Oh,
won the
yeah.
Masters last year. And
But Haseeb has been playing the
as
same
usual,
deck.
nothing has changed.
It's just, I do think Asopa has gone back to his deck with
Is
the
he gone
minor
to
and the battle ram.
minor poison combo maybe?
No, I think it's the same deck. If you're playing minor with battle ram again, that's basically his win condition.
Oh.
We do have a P.E.K.K.A coming out. That's interesting.
A huge P.E.K.K.A bringing that hammer down right on his face.
Oh, a P.E.K.K.A and a furnace. All right. We do get the minion horde coming out, which is a good counter to the P.E.K.K.A. The log comes out. It does get chip damage on the Ewiz as well. But this push is it's not entirely answered yet right now. There is still
Yeah, a lot of damage.
the baby dragon just ate them up. Why would you ever play the minions with the baby dragon? He gets the tower quite easily, and the game does seem Haseeb. I don't know how Haseeb keeps doing it, honestly.
This was not what I was expecting out
This
of
was
this game.
not what I was expecting at all. I was so
So
ready for
after
a
all this
comeback.
thinking, Asopa is like, this is my counter. A bloody P.E.K.K.A.
Okay, we do see poison coming out. Some good value out of it, but I don't know. I think that's too little, too late.
And guess what the last card on Haseeb's deck is? Like, it's a question mark. Could you guess?
I think it's still battle ram. I hope it's battle ram.
No,
But-
the Haseeb's deck.
Oh,
the last,
Haseeb's. Oh yeah, we know the lightning.
it's definitely lightning.
I will literally change my name if Haseeb does not have a lightning in his deck. Honestly, that's how sure I am. The P.E.K.K.A again, but the minions and the Ewiz.
P.E.K.K.A is bringing a lot of damage down, but he's not able to stop the push,
This
especially the
was a
Electro Wizard.
decent P.E.K.K.A, but the golems are just too high value. You can't let the golems you can't answer the golems with just one P.E.K.K.A. It leads to you getting a decent amount of chip damage down. The Eve is coming out now from Asopa with the minor. He does get some good damage off in the tower, but he only has 40 seconds to go. So the baby dragon coming out, I hope he doesn't play the minions again, but that's just going to be sad, honestly. The law coming out, getting some good value, but we have the furnace coming out as a soft golem counter. The second baby dragon as well as the log, and I think Haseeb again, they're going to get some good damage down. The Skellies do come out, but I'm not sure the Skellies do there because he has mainly flying units and just 4 finally lightning coming out, just barely missing, but this game is obviously going to go to Haseeb right now. He just needs to cycle his cards, get back to the lightning. And he won't even need to do that. The log coming out, ending the game for Haseeb. And there it is. That's 3-1.
Night getting warmer now. The ground shakes as our love gets loud. I'm ready to love. We're the champions of the night. I'm ready to champions of the night. Cold light falling on the ground. Long day, but we won't back down. One thing playing on our minds. Long wait, but we won't give up now. You crave the love I gave, and we'll do it again. A cold night getting warmer now. The ground shakes as our love gets loud. We are the champions of the night. We are the champions of the night. Yeah. We are the fighting tide, the ones that burn so bright. We are the champions of the night. Champions of the night. Can't tell if we're dreaming now. We watch as the fire falls down. One thing playing on our minds.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, the match of best of 5 of Clash Royale between Vikram Asopa and Haseeb Iqbal Nazir goes as expected. The man goes home with 21 points in his kitty. All matches, straight wins. I mean, how perfect can you be in this game, man? I mean, you gotta be like really, really good. Which also reminds me, I need to install the game after having uninstalled it like 5 times out of sheer exasperation because I can't win personally. And these guys are killing it here in the ESL India Premiership 2017's summer season phase 1. A quick reminder for everybody who wants to participate in the ESL India Premiership 2017, the phase 2 registrations are on. I repeat, the phase 2 registrations are on. All you need to do is follow the link on the screen. It'll just do that and just register for the games you want to participate in and you're done. You become a part of the ESL India Premiership 2017, brought to you by Omen by HP, HyperX, Zowie by BenQ and organized by Notwin Gaming. Now moving on to the 5v5 MOBA, the game 2 of the ESL India Premiership 2017 live stream on the final day, the day 14 here. We have Dota 2 coming in, but quickly before we head off into a lowdown about the teams participating, let's see what the results are so far. Alright, talking about yesterday's results, we had 3C4TA and Aggressive 5 face off against each other, wherein 32-4 was the final scoreline. Whereas Entity Esports and Team XRG had a showdown off stream in which Entity Esports took home the glory. Now, talking about the leaderboards here, considering we're on the final day of the ESL India Premiership 2017 Summer Season Phase 1, let's quickly take a look at the Masters League leaderboard. Now, as you can see on the screen, Aggressive 5 is totaling with 18 points on the first position. 6 matches played, all 6 of them as registered victories, whereas Entity Esports is again on the second position with 18 points in their name. To their name, 6 matches played, all 6 as registered victories. Now, 3 cheers for Divine Ascension from Nepal is a close contender for the third position because right now they have 15 points in their kitty, all 7 matches played, 5-2 the score line is what it reads. Whereas on the fourth position we have Stand 5 with 12 points, 7 matches played and 4 wins registered out of the 3 losses they have faced. Now, quickly looking at the Challenger League in Dota 2. We have White Unicorn in the first position with 12 points in their kitty, 5 matches played, out of which 1 is a loss. Whereas in the second position we have Go Figure with 12 points, 4 matches played, all 4 of them victories. Maybe they are taking a leaf out of Entities and Aggressive's Dota book, if there's something called Dota book. But moving on, we have Team Relax in the third position with 12 points for 6 matches played, out of which 2 are registered losses, whereas 4 are win. Whereas Buritza is on the fourth position with 12 points, 7 matches played, 3 losses and 4 victories. Now, talking a bit about the game on today on for the live stream between 2 very amazing teams. This is literally going to be a 5v5 battle royale, because what's going to happen is Entity Esports is going to face off against Aggressive 5, and a showdown between these two is going to decide who's on the first position and who goes on to the second. Now, talking a little bit about these teams, these amazing teams having a showdown here in the game 2 of the day 14 of the ESL India Premiership 2017. Now, we have Aggressive 5, a Mumbai-based team which features many prolific names in the Dota 2 scene, such as Dwanit Negi Negi, Prasad Batosai Nalavde, Shabas, Pinkman Hussain, and they are led by none other than Onkar Pasol Orankar. Now, the team also boasts of Pedal Hauto Paddling Nagi, one of the few Indian players to feature on the global Dota 2 leaderboards. And also the team is quite a dark horse in the ESL India Premiership 2017 Master League, because it's the only other team apart from Entity Esports to have been unbeaten in the league so far. Now, currently the team holds the second place in the rankings, trailing behind Entity Esports only on the basis of kill-death difference. Whereas today's match will decide who stays on the top or who goes down under. Whereas Entity Esports, now this team is quite how would I say, it's a revamped V 2.0 team, considering the old Entity Esports we knew has now revamped with 3 new players. Now, this is again a Mumbai-based team led by Balaji, Blizzard, Ram Narayan. The team recently had a significant roster change, which I just mentioned. This team features few international players, such as we have Abing from the Philippines here joining the team, and apart from that, it is the only Indian team to have a foreign coach. Apart from the foreign coach, also international players. Remember when I said Abing's from Clutch Gamers? Remember when I said when he covered him back in Esports Center? This is what's happening. Now, this team is currently sharing the top place in ESL India Premiership 2017 Dota 2 Master League Summer Season Phase 1 rankings with Aggressive 5. Which now brings me to the point that this is the showdown we're going to have right now on your screens, wherever you've joined us, whether on the Facebook page of ESL India or the YouTube gaming channel of ESL India Premiership. Let me remind you, for the convenience of those who are still confused how the ESL India Premiership is panned out, it's a very simple process. We have 3 seasons. We have summer, we have fall, we have winter. Right now it's a summer season. As you can see, we're all sweating out each time we step out of the door and we seek shelter in the ACs. Yes, this is the summer season. Now, in the summer season, we have multiple phases, and right now we're just about to get done with phase 1 today. It's the final day of phase 1, post which over the course of the weekend we'll have a promotion relegation, so that we can decide in phase 2 who's in the Masters League or who comes up in the Challenger League, and vice versa, and so on and so forth. Now, all these 3 leagues, the starter, Challenger and Master Leagues have concurrent games of Clash Royale, Best of 5, they have Dota 2, and they have Counter-Strike Global Offensive. So the system is pretty much predominantly like how they do it in EPL, the promotion relegation system, so shouldn't be much of a task in understanding how the teams are going up or down in the leaderboards. But for now, we have Dota 2 coming in between Entity Esports and Aggressive 5. Who'll win, who'll go home? That's for us to see.
Champions of the night. Can't tell if we're dreaming now. We watch as the five falls down. One thing playing on our minds. Time stops and we don't make a sound. You crave the love I gave, and we'll do it again. A cold night getting warmer now. The ground shakes as our love gets loud. I'm ready to love. We're the champions of the night. I'm ready to
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the ESL India Premiership. It is the final game of Season 1, or rather Summer Phase 1. Entity Esports is going to be taking on Aggressive 5 here in the last match of the first cycle. I'm CloudX. With me, I've got Vivek. How's it going, Vivek?
It's going really good, and this is probably the most exciting matchup of the Masters phase. Aggressive 5, they are coming into this game after a loss, to go figure in another tournament, so I'm really excited to see how this pans out. The bans coming in from Entity Esports are still meta. It looks like they haven't done any specific research for Aggressive 5, and no targeted bans coming onto state. Entity Esports first pick. Job Easy has been playing that Crystal Maiden every time he gets his hands on it, and I guess this is where you just pick that up.
Yeah, I do agree. I think the Crystal Maiden would be one of Entity Esports' signature go-to picks here as their first pickup. But yeah, talking about Aggressive 5, we kind of made them out to be this really strong team that's, possibly the second best team in India, second only to Entity Esports. But today they got decimated by Go Figure. And quite frankly, that's excited me a lot, man. It shows that we have some signs of life in the Indian scene. There is going to be a lot more competition going forward as well. But let's see how they hold their own against Entity Esports. If I'm not mistaken, Pinkman wasn't playing their match in the previous one. I'm not too certain because they played under different names. But for now, it is going to be a Train Protector as the opening pick for Entity Esports.
Pinkman was there, if I'm not mistaken. He was playing under the Mikasa, but I'm pretty sure it was Pinkman. First two picks for Aggressive 5. Pasol does like to play the Disruptor and the Crystal Maiden himself. Train Protector is being played as a roaming support, and along with the Arcane Aura coming up from the Crystal Maiden, it could be a good support duo to have on the side of NT2 Esports. So it makes me think, do Aggressive 5 want to pick it up themselves here?
Are you talking about the Crystal?
Yeah, I think Aggressive 5 could pick up the Crystal Maiden themselves.
I mean, there's definitely nothing wrong with picking up the Crystal Maiden here, but at the same time, I don't think Entity Esports is going to go with the Crystal Maiden and the Treant as their opening duo. You give away your support duo right from the get-go, and Aggressive 5 is, they're going to be worried looking at a roaming Treant and a Crystal Maiden in the lane. They could possibly pick up an offlane that can deal with it. I'm thinking something. Okay, they're going to go with the Axe for now, which should be their offlaner. But had they waited a little longer, they could have picked up an offlaner that just ditches the lane altogether. Maybe a Magnus, even if they wanted to play with, keep him in the lane and just make sure he gets as much farm without being zoned out by the Traint and the Crystal Maiden. But Axe is fine. I can agree with an Axe pickup here. If things really do get bad, you just head back into the jungle, get those bounty runes, and kill creeps all day, every day.
Something I have seen Aggressive 5 run earlier is a dual lane of sorts with the Axe and the Warlock, and with an early point in Battlehog and maybe even Shadowbird, you can just chase down the squishy supports on the enemy side. So I'm curious to see if they're going to run this as an offensive dual lane, or Warlock could just be sitting in the sitting in the safe lane himself. But you're going to let Magnus slip through, and Entity Esports are going to pick that up. Bing is quite a force to deal with on the Magnus, and we do all have that one thug life moment with him on the Magnus.
Yeah, but I mean, talking about the battle hunger and the shadow word, as cheesy as it is, in this
Yeah.
particular game, I actually do like these spells. Living armor, one of the best ways to deal with it is damage over time, and both those abilities are great at dealing with the living armor from that train protector. It remains to be seen if Axe is actually going to put early points into it, or maybe just one early point into it. But come mid game, it's definitely going to add a lot of value.
Yeah, I've seen Bartosai put 1 point into it, especially when he thinks he can, apply pressure onto the enemy supports. Next set of bans, Entity Esports, they're going to take out Lina, which is a strong mid laner, at least a strong mid lane in this patch. And Negi does play it a fair bit. Did have a reasonably good performance with it early on today. Not sure what the troll ban is about. Not sure what they're trying to set up for with the Stroll and Weaver ban. But
I
it
can
is
agree
one of
with it.
Blizzard's heroes. That's about it.
So I'm not too bothered by the troll ban really. The Weaver ban means that A5 are not looking at too many lockdowns. At least that's the takeaway I have from that ban. But there is a little bit of fun rivalry going on here as well. Barosai on Aggressive 5 is a former teammate of Swifty and Blizzard when they were playing in Beyond Infinity, and before that in Team Illusions. So Barosai has a reason to bring his A game here, and I don't really like throwing a player under the bus, but I think you'll agree with me when I say that Barosai is not in top form at the moment.
Hold on. Yeah, Bartos, I mean, he's been having his off moments in games, but by and large, he's a good player. And for those of you who are just new to the Indian esports scene and are not sure who Bartosai is, who Swifty is, who Blizzard is, and that is possible, just to give you a heads up, Beyond Infinity were one of the top squads in Indian esports, along with Invisible Wings. And some of you might know Invisible Wings as the team that Crowley played in. And Bartosai, or what is he called in this game? FSD. Was on Beyond Infinity along with Swifty and Blizzard. He was the offlane player there as well. And that team had no chance in Zedis bug in it. I mean, that team is split up. They're now Entity Esports. It's a mix of players from India. It's a mix of players from the Philippines. And yeah, like you pointed out, there is a fair amount of rivalry and history in this game.
Yeah, so one easy way to perceive all these roster shuffles is to think of the PPAP meme guy. So on one hand, he's got Beyond Infinity. On the other hand, he has Invisible Wings. He smashes them together and you get Entity Esports. And then what Entity Esports did is, on one hand, they had Indian players. On the other hand, they had Southeast Asia players. They smashed them together and this is what they are today. So we are meme gods unintentionally.
I agree. I mean, that's the most easiest way to follow Indian esports. That's a good way of keeping up with roster shuffles. Yeah.
Anyway, Entity Esports, third pick on the board for them. It is a Tusk pick coming out from Aggressive 5. Again, I'm not such a fan of this Tusk. I feel like this is a hero that's only valuable when you've got yourself a Monkey King to deal with on the other side. In this game, yes, I do see some value with the Snowball and the Axe if he doesn't get a quick Blink Dagger. But at the same time, all Ubbing's going to have to do on his Magnus is just stand a mile behind, wait for that Snowball to come in, and then pow, jump in with an RP. He's definitely going to get at least 2 targets, or depending on how many are inside that Snowball, more.
So as I look through this draft, I'm pretty sure Aggressive 5 were confident that Entity Esports might end up picking the Magnus and the Juggernaut, which is why they just open with the Axe and they're like, you can have your Juggernaut, we have our Axe, we can call you even when you're popping that Blade Fury of yours. And they return with a good core that can deal with the Juggernaut as the game progresses. You spoke about the Tusk. He's a good foe, man. He can initiate, he can do a little bit of burst, he can even save you, and Frozen Sigil is actually good as the game gets later and later.
Yeah, but wouldn't you rather have an Earth Spirit in this game as your roaming hero? You get the silence as well. You get the long range stun for the Magnus.
I agree. The Earth Spirit is a better choice any day. He's better than most foes, but nobody picks him in India. So
come on, I mean that's something you've got to fix. If nobody picks him, is because I'm assuming it's because many don't have the expertise to run him. I know Entity Esports has that expertise, but they've chosen to go with the Treant first. There's no space for an Earth Spirit now. Aggressive 5 could have quite easily picked up the Earth Spirit here, and I think they'd have given Entity Esports a bit of a run for their money. You'd also have that additional source of damage over time with the Magnetize and maybe with an early Orb of Venom on him, which would work versus the Train's Living Armor. So I'm all for that Earth Spirit this game instead of the Tusk. I just don't see the value add from him. And look at this. I mean, a third pick Tusk. Entity Esports picks up a Disruptor, another hero that's great at punishing the Tusk that snowballs in at the pace of a snail.
I agree with you. The Earth Spirit is a better pick almost always, but unfortunately, and this is the case. Sadly, not enough Indian players play the Earth Spirit. I would any day have an Earth Spirit in that lineup.
Not even the Earth Spirit, man. I still feel like a Ricky would have added more value than a Tusk here.
Okay.
You know that Train's going to be running around the map looking to cause chaos. You're going to be able to get that Riki moving around, maybe shadowing Arbing if he goes into the jungle as well. Having the silence versus the Magnus Skewer is so much more efficient than relying on the Tusk to snowball in on him. Heck, you snowball and he skewers back. You're probably going to end up under his tower and he scores a kill on you. It's such a risky game to be running a Tusk here.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's actually not a good game for a Tusk. I mean, there's nothing wrong with the Tusk, but this is definitely not a good game for the Tusk. But looking at Aggressive 5, what they like to do is get these rotations early on in the game, and Tusk lets you do that, right? I mean, at level 1 or level 2 even, you can't miss Snowball. So it's a good way to get the fight started in the early game. But as the game goes later and later, you are right. I mean, Magnus can just skewer the Tusk back. Tusk snowballs in with another hero. It's an easy RP, probably a Static Storm to follow that up. So I'm not entirely sure of Tusk as a hero of choice here. I agree with you.
Entity Esports, last pick on the board for them here. What are they going to go with? They need a mid, unless that's a mid Magnus, which I'm highly doubtful of. They have a good 48 seconds to take a decision here. So they shouldn't be too pressured into this. I'm looking at, if they want to go greedy, they could pick up a Phantom Assassin as their mid, but then they're running three melee cores into an axe, which is a terrible idea. They could run a Templar Assassin. They'll go with the Queen of Pain instead. So they're relying on some Wombo combo potential coming out with the Magnus and the Quap, some lane domination potential with the Queen of Pain, and more importantly, they're going to be using the Queen of Pain as a tempo controller while Juggernaut goes ham, farming up with the Empower, and of course doing oodles of damage when he enters the fray. It's also a good way to deal with the Slark. AoE magic and pure damage. Slark, even under cover of the Shadow Dance, could take quite the beating from this.
And Aggressive. Yeah, this should be a matchup that favors the Puck, in my opinion.
No, I disagree. I think Queen of Pain should come out on top in this matchup. I mean, you got to remember, this is a Queen of Pain that's going to have living armor to work with as well. So there's no damage over time from Puck. If things go bad for the Queen of Pain, she pops a living armor, and then, I mean, with the living armor, she even has a license to dive on the Puck. It's a matchup where the Puck has to be really careful about the way he pops those illusory orbs. If he pops one preemptively, Queen of Pain blinks behind him, gets the Shadow Strike off. And let's face it, it's not so difficult to pump fake a Shadow Strike to force out a premature phase shift.
Okay.
All right, really quickly, predictions, man. What do you think is in store for us here? Who do you think is coming out on top?
Entity has the better draft. And I think
Hold that thought. Do they actually not have any battle passes, or is this just a bug because they're in private lobbies?
Battle
passes. Yeah, I definitely think they have battle passes. I thought I saw one over Job BZ's name. Yeah, he's got a battle pass. In fact, they've all got battle passes, so it is a bug. Anyway, for those of you that are just tuning in, you are watching Entity Esports versus Aggressive 5 for the ESL India Premiership. This tournament is organized by Nodwin Gaming. Title sponsor is Omen by HP. You've got HyperX as the sponsors, Zawi by BenQ as the sponsors as well. And you've got your friendly neighborhood casters from AFK Gaming, myself, CloudX, with Vivek. Job easy, already on the cover of Nature's Guys. That smoke did pop. Basol knows that something's going on here. Pinkman has a sentry board as well. Job easy could be going down here if he gets greedy and goes for the rune. But now they definitely know he's there. He's just waiting behind. They have seen him. They need a dust if they want to score this kill. A sentry ward is not going to cut it. Oh, maybe it is actually. The Slark is coming in as well. The Pounce connects. They have 2 sentry wards placed. Yeah, job easy. That was Okay, never mind. They just placed one. My bad. I thought they placed the earlier one as well. So Job
Yes.
Easy's down. The bounty rune will go to Jian, and this should be a good start for aggressive 5.
Good stuff coming out from Pinkman. The shards forcing Job Easy to run back into the sentry. Could have taken another path, but ended up walking back into the sentry. So it is 2 runes aside, an even rune trade, but the Radiant do get first blood. So yeah, I didn't get to hear your predictions of this game. I'm with Entity Esports. Maybe.
Yeah, I want to say Entity Esports as well. My only concern is how Entity plans to siege high ground, but the same concern applies for aggressive 5 as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, high ground defense is really solid. Both teams actually have really solid high ground defense this game, so they're gonna have to be careful about the way they try and end this game, whichever team gets the lead, that is. And yeah, Barossa, he's actually started off with the battle hunger right from the get-go, like you pointed out. But this leaves him vulnerable to Blizzard making a play on him right about now. I mean, he does have the Blade Fury available. He's gonna go in and get a few hits off without fear of the counter Helix working back on him. Job Easy's coming as well. And yeah, they sense one little opportunity in the lack of the counter Helix, and immediately they open to punish.
Yeah, so Bartosai did this in another game as well. The only difference was that he got a whole lot closer to his level 2 before he died. Now, he does have a creep wave.
I didn't get a single point of experience from this entire first wave. And he's dying again, man. Blizzard doesn't have the Blade Fury for 15, so they'll just punch Bartosai and send him back. But this means he's gonna have to pop a shrine, it seems. And if he doesn't, I think they're gonna kill him with the next Blade Fury. Blizzard's even picked up his boots.
Yeah, what's quite amazing though is that both Pinkman and Pasol are applying.
Sorry, I was just gonna cut you off there because Swifty looked to be in a bit of trouble here on the middle lane. He was forced to blink back by the Puck, who's now sitting at 4 CS, but Queen's at 8 and 3. She is still taking the lead in this lane.
Yeah, so I mean, Pinkman and Pasol are applying similar pressure on Abing. They bought him down low twice. He's still not popped a shrine, so he did come to the lane with a lot more regen.
Again, Swifty is walking on thin ice here. I'm not too sure how Neji is doing this, but he's actually out-laning Swifty here for now. He's even got his salve available that'll get him back up to full HP. And Swifty can't even afford the bottle just yet. So something has gone horribly wrong for Neji. I mean for Swifty, and he's gonna have to pop a shrine very early on. This is basically inviting a rotation from the Tusk.
Both coach doing rather similar in terms of last hits. Axe did end up falling once, but he's keeping up with the Magnus in terms of last hits, and he has hit level 2. Not the most survivable, but still.
Yeah, I mean, despite the one death, he has kept pace with the Magnus, like you said, but they did end up giving one kill over to... Who was it, actually? It was... no, it was the Disruptor that got the kill.
Okay.
So Beat is... I think he used that money to upgrade the courier, and now he can afford boots if he wants them. Bottom, looks like they have a kill coming out here. Arbing ends up going down, aggressive 5. Finds yet another one to add to their tally.
Yeah, I mean, they've been doing this to Abing for the past couple of minutes. Abing dropped low twice. Did force a shrine usage coming out from him as well. And somehow a Warlock and a Tusk grouped up to bring down Abing. I guess Jian or Paddling was involved in that as well. But the classic aggressive thing to do is move into the enemy jungle and contest Abing there itself. Not let him catch up.
You're gonna have to hold your thought there. Never mind. Axe survives. I thought he was gonna get glimpsed back, but then I realized it was just a level 1 glimpse on the Disruptor, so he's fine. But Axe again, no consumables, no shrine available for use. 220 seconds without a shrine actually, so Blizzard and his boys can definitely keep jumping upon him. How's the Queen of Pain looking? Has she managed to recover here? 17 and 10 denies? Jesus, that's dirty. For Negi. He's got 16 CS, just falling behind on the denies a little bit.
Yeah, Pinkman, he's moved into the enemy jungle. He is contesting a Bing there. The ice shots are there, forcing out a skewer. And yeah, this is classic aggressive 5. Win a lane and do not even let the offlaner catch up in the jungle. while NTT Esports are yet to do the same to Batosai's axe.
He's up to level 3, so is Abing actually, but I'm looking for the rotation towards middle lane. I think the Tusk is going to have to try and make a play on that Queen of Pain. She does have the Arcane Rune though, so it may not be the best choice right about now. But they're probably going to wait for Negi to hit 6 before they make that play.
Meanwhile, Job Easy getting a stack of a double stack almost. Yeah, that is a double stack. So more farm for the Juggernaut with the Empower.
Speaking of the Juggernaut, what's he got up his sleeve so far? Just the phase boots with 32 last hits to his name. Slark's actually getting a fair bit more farm on the bottom lane. But yeah, again, mate, we're looking at Swifty with the living armor upon him. He's just conveniently going to be pounding away at Negi. He's not even worried about expending his mana like this. And it is hard to kill Swifty now, considering he picked up the infused raindrops. Even with this rotation coming out from the Tusk, this is going to be a really tough kill.
Yeah, it's going to be hard indeed. They haven't got the Dream Coil to work with either. And Pinkman just shows himself in lane, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, they were actually going for the Observer Ward on the cliff here, so they got the D Ward successfully. It was the puck that got the money from it. Negi, he's doing the right thing here. It's pretty intelligent what he's done here. He knows that the Queen of Pain went up top for the rune, so he pushes out the lane as much as he possibly can, hoping that, you know, a couple of creeps get missed by Swifty, and thus he starts falling behind in terms of EXP. But bottom lane Abing is getting zoned out quite hard here. He's at 1,000 net worth. He's 600 behind the Axe actually. Axe is just ducked into the jungle and only comes back to the lane when there is far more EXP to be had. Entity has actually done quite a bit to try and shut him down in the lane. They've even put this Observer Ward on the high ground next to his secret shop. So they really want to be able to kill him off when he's going for those bounty runes, or, you know, if there's any TP rotations coming into the top tower, they want to know. But that ward is going to time out in the next 2.5 to 3 minutes. That's probably when A5 makes a smoke rotation up top. But for now, they are going into the jungle to give Magnus an even harder time. Watch bottom though. Job Easy is waiting in the wings. Jeon is here and Irving is coming to the fray as well. He has no supports to back him up, but getting this kill is going to be extremely difficult. I mean, he has 3 points in the Dark Pact as well, so he could shrug off the slows and the stuns from the lead seed, etc. with one Dark Pact. But Snowball comes in from behind. Abing's the one to get stunned up. They do have the pounce available. They're not going to connect just yet. In fact, the stun will come out on Jeon. Jeon's going to have to turn and make a run for it. The shards will come out. Jobizi's been trapped in there, but he's quite tanky. Abing is coming in for round 2 as well. There's the skewer. It pulls 2 back. Here comes the disruptor as well. He drops down the glimpse as well as the kinetic field, but Abing will be the one to go down and not paddling aka Jeon. It's a double clip for Pasol as they're now moving on BDZ. Aggressive 5. Staying true to the name, but Swifty has entered the fray. Fires off that Sonic Wave, gets a kill, but it's a triple for Pasol as Pinkman tries to run. Tree and TPs into his face, doesn't get the hit off, gets a lead seed. They do drop down the Dream Coil as well. Negi trying to secure the retreat for his Tusk, but looks like Swifty got the kill anyway. That was a chaotic fight, I have to say, but one that does go in favor of aggressive 5. They got 3 kills on a support Warlock. He's pretty much done for the next 6 minutes of this game at least.
Yeah, they got 2 supports, the Treant and the Disruptor. They brought down the Magnus as well, who tried to skewer back Gian paddling, but paddling just pops the Dark Pact at the right time. So the slow doesn't kick in, and he gets the kill on the Treant Protector just with the Dark Pact. And that was a huge rotation coming out from the Dire. All of this is more space for FHD or Bartosai to farm. It looks like he'll be getting his Blink Dagger before the Magnus.
Yeah, it clearly looks like it. Magnus has 2 deaths to his name at the moment, so that's set him back quite a long way. There is pressure to now go ganking that Axe though. I think we are going to see Entity Esports making some rotations towards the Axe's lane.
Yeah, Bato's side with a Blink Dagger earlier than that, and the Magnus could really shape Aggressified's chances in the
top
mid
lane. Are they okay? They were looking like they wanted to get the glimpse of.
Blizzard walked ahead thinking about the Omni Slash, but BDZ not enough range for the glimpse. I really love this Observer Ward coming out from Aggressified. They do not want to let Abing catch up.
Yeah, this is a really deep observer ward, but while they do see a ping here, it's too risky to make a play. That Shrine. Such an easy spot to TP in and make counter rotations. Up top, Barosai could be in trouble here. There is an Invis Treant heading his way. If Barosai goes back into the lane to leech EXP on this low HP, he's done for. In fact, he might die here as Jobbies. He's gonna get the punch in his face, but he gets the Shrine off. Oh, he's managed to stay alive for now. Are there gonna be TPs coming his way? Yes, there are. Here comes the task. He's gonna come in. Pinkman gets set back immediately. The Omni Slash gets committed. They get the kill. Now, Pasol's come into the fray. He actually drops down the Fatal Bonds and connects onto 2, but now he's trying to run for it. Jobbies, he doesn't have the lead seat available just yet, so they are going to get this tier 1 tower. Meanwhile, at mid? Was that at mid? No, it was at...
I caught that. Pinkman got glimpsed back to somewhere here in the jungle and he was bought down by Queen of Pain and Magnus.
Oh, I see. Okay, that's unfortunate as all hell for Aggressive 5, but Entity are doing a good job so far. They are looking like they're going to take down this tier 1 tower.
Yeah. I mean, if Axe hadn't died there, it would have been huge for Entity because they killed Magnus twice and Barosai has been farming quietly. That might have meant an advantage in terms of items and that might have meant an advantage in the mid game when they do decide to team fight. Because Pasol got his levels better than most Warlocks do. I mean, he's level 6 at 11 minutes, which is a really respectable timings to hit level 6 on a support. Yeah, I mean, Aggressive 5 would have been really pleased if Barosai didn't end up falling there.
Let's have a quick look at the levels now. You've got Magnus who's hit 6, so they have the RP to work with if they make those smoke rotations towards the bottom lane. But they are going to need a Static Storm as well if they really want to secure a kill on that Slark. Because if it's just an RP, there's always the likelihood that there's going to be some backup coming his way. And if he survives the stun duration of the RP, he is more than likely going to pop a Shadow Dance and get out of there. But at the same time, you know, you've got a drop available on Pasol's Warlock. He's hit 6 in good timing for a support. With a drop available, they can look to make counter initiations. They are going to be expecting our Bing to make some plays soon, so TP scrolls are invaluable this game for Aggressive 5. Meanwhile, Blizzard is having a ball of a game here. He's opted to go for the Yasha phase boots first, so mobility is the name of the game for him. But look at this, Entity. They're grouping up now. They've got their own power spike with the RP and the Static Storm online. They're looking to pop a smoke and make a play. But never mind. They're deciding against it now. Where is the smoke? Oh, it's on the courier. That was strange. They all TP to the shrine expecting to pop a smoke and move immediately, but they had no smoke. Arrow 404. Up top, I see a lot of folks. In fact, all 5 heroes from A5 moving up. Jian has that Shadow Blade and he's going to put it to use going forward first. Now, Blizzard has been spotted out. But how do they initiate on him? I don't think Slark should reveal his position. Now, they know that Blizzard is keeping bottom as well, so I guess the call here has to be to just trade towers. If A5 tries to take a fight at bottom, they'll end up wasting time and not really getting anything done. Meanwhile, Entity won't find anything either. Negi's done the right thing though. He knows he's not needed up top. Instead, he'll pressure mid as well. So A5 are now pushing 2 lanes while Entity is pushing just 1.
Yeah, good map awareness coming out from Blizzard. I'm not sure that was map awareness or he was just told to come down to the bot lane to push, but he did dodge a huge gank coming out from Aggressive 5. And yep, it's a tower aside. Nobody really coming out on top. Like you pointed out, the Puck was applying pressure on the mid lane. How's the Puck looking in terms of items? He's getting closer to his blink.
He's got it. So they now got double blinks. Axe as well as the Puck.
While Abing is a good 800 gold away from his.
Right, Slark is hunting again and he sees that Disruptor. Should be able to get this kill. He can go in deep for this one. His backup is right around the corner. And he's going to get the kill without any concerns, really. Aggressive 5 really staying true to their name. I'd have expected them to be intimidated by a team like Entity Esports, but man, they're making some really ballsy plays. Now they've spotted the Treant as well. And look, they have a sentry ward here. Jorbizi could die here if they choose to commit on him, but it looks like they're not that aggressive.
What do you attribute this 1,000 goal lead to?
They had the sentry ward. Even though paddling misses the Slark bounce, they're probably going to get the kill. They do manage to blow up the Slark first though, and our Bing is still alive courtesy of the living armor. They're going to get the Omni Slash. It's a double kill for Blizzard. Negi's in trouble. Jumps away, but Queen jumps after him. 4 down for aggressive 5, and Entity Esports in the blink of an eye have wiped the floor with the Radiant. And that wasn't even an RP committed.
Yeah. That was Job Easy on the Disruptor. Excuse me, BDZ on the Disruptor with an absolutely clutch Static Storm coming up from him. Caught 2 or 3 heroes in that Static Storm and Kinetic Field. And it was followed up by a beautiful Sonic Wave by Swifty. At this point, the Golem coming up from Pasol is just not enough.
I think more importantly, that was Slark missing the bounce. Had he not missed the bounce there, they'd have got the kill on the Magnus first. They wouldn't have spent so much time going after him, and with the drop stun, probably would have got someone else. Magnus, again in trouble. There's the skewer coming out from him. Bing could be going down here. He does have the living armor, and Gian, he's going to go in with a dark pack that will cancel out the living armor. He's going to end up dropping. Swifty has the Yule Scepter to work with. There's a glimpse sending the Slark back. He's going to bounce to the low ground, and with that, he'll scurry on out of there. Once again, the blink has been delayed. Mid, they're going to jump in. They're going to go in on the Train Protector, not giving Entity Esports any room to work with. They get the kill on him as well. So while they may have lost the skirmish, they haven't lost the war. They're fighting back.
Considering that you can't use your Fire Remnant to get out of a route, but you can snowball across an overgrowth.
No, I don't think he was caught, man. I think he snowballed from outside of it.
Yeah, Pinkman wasn't caught in the overgrowth, but yeah.
Okay, he took a package along with him.
Yeah, I guess that's okay. I guess that makes sense. I'm not sure. But yeah, he did take Pasol along with him. The Dire do have the better vision game. They've got some aggressive wards in the Radiant jungle, hoping to set up a couple of kills to Swifty. There is a fair amount of sentries as well, just to devour all the Radiant vision across the mid lane. The Radiant, they have this room. I mean, this is a room come jungle ward. But that's about it.
This is not really giving rune vision. It's just jungle vision.
Yeah, sorry. Not giving rune vision.
You gotta cut down these trees, I believe, too.
The ones on the cliff.
Yeah, but even then, I don't think you're gonna be able to look at the rune. The ward vision ends just before the rune on this one.
Yeah, so they do have some vision of the enemy jungle, and they will be looking for pickups. Paddling is playing a lot more active on the Slark than he does on heroes like the Weaver or the Terrorblade. And this is going to sort of force Entity Esports to more or less stick together as much as possible. I mean, 3 heroes on the side of Entity are doing that. Bing goes unnoticed for a large portion of the game, and that means his Blink Dagger is back up online. Sentiments in, it is a blink on the Magnus. Maybe Entity start looking for team fights now.
There's a questionable smoke coming out from Aggressive 5. They smoked from the bottom lane and they're walking all the way up top. Slark got spotted by that sentry ward, by the way, so they know he's here.
Yeah.
Now Captain ready for him. They'll just scare him off. Now Gian thinks there's a sentry elsewhere. But A5, that one pump fake was enough.
Top lane, Blizzard is pushing out the tower as soon as possible. Negi jumps in, he's got the Veiling Rift, the Orb as well. He's going to disengage. Gian in the middle of everything. There's the drop that we were talking about. It catches almost all of them. The Fatal Bonds and the Green Call is there. But where's the damage? Gian jumps in into a Static Storm. There's a huge snowball. A Sonic Wave as well. And Pinkman is dropping low, but he's got the drop off. And Job Easy with the root. It looks like they will end up picking off the Disruptor as well as the Juggernaut. So 2 quick kills for Aggressive 5, and it looks like they found Job Easy. Make it a triple. And Aggressive 5 lose nothing and no one. And all of this while CloudX went to open his door.
Nah, don't worry, I caught that on camera.
Oh, you got that? Okay.
But Aggressive 5, man, they're fighting back pretty hard here. And again, the RP is yet to be used. So Abing with that Blink Dagger, not really putting in the most work. Swifty. He did unload the Sonic Wave there, but unfortunately couldn't find any kills. Let's have a look at the net worth charts after that. We're almost back at the break-even point after that. Entity Esports really losing their advantage. And I've got to say, man, I'm so confused about this team, Aggressive 5. One moment they seem like pushovers, the next moment they're fighting almost flawlessly. Today we saw them getting hammered in another match, and now against possibly India's top dogs. They're playing some amazing Dota.
Yeah, they're playing some really good Dota. And I think he was out of position in that team fight. Ended up getting hit by the Golem and the Fatal Bonds as well, and couldn't really blink in and get the initiation that he was looking for. But hey, 1 RP is all it takes, man. And the Dire definitely have huge wombo combo potential on their side. In terms of individual net worth, the Juggernaut is pulling ahead, but not by that much, considering that you have Empower to keep him farming as optimally as possible. Anyway, Entity is smoked up.
There we go. Job easy, just getting a smoke reveal. The jump away was there. Bing almost popping the RP there. Negi just thanking his stars that he was able to get away in time. He's got a haste rune to work with as well now. Barosai goes in. It's a one-man taunt. Watch for the RP from Magnus, but watch for the Disruptor Static Storm. What did he do? He's only silenced up that Slark, who gets it with an Omni Slash as well and brought down. So it's a 1-for-1 Slark down in exchange for a Disruptor right now. A trade in favor of Entity Esports. But Entity are fighting on the low ground. Axe with a complete missed call here. But then RP coming out from Arbing along with the Sonic Wave to follow it up. Perfectly executed by Entity. They end up getting 2 quick kills. And now they're on the hunt as Negi will turn tail and run. It was I've got to say, a proficient team fight coming out from Entity. They fought from the low ground. They made sure that they had the Observer Ward on the cliff to ensure that they're mitigating that disadvantage. And the moment they spotted Barosai getting trigger happy on that call, whiffing on the call, they jump in and punish immediately. And with that, they end up getting 2 cores and a support that's really quite farmed for his current level.
Yeah, so Barosai did have vision of them when he blinked in and tried to get the call off. He did, right? High ground. He did have high ground vision.
Yeah, he definitely had vision.
Yes. I'm not sure why he was thinking of re-engaging, especially when they didn't have a Slark on their side. I mean, Slark was dead. And Pasol, if I'm not mistaken, his drop was on cooldown. So 2 huge factors of the team fight and the damage were not there yet. Barosai chose to jump in. And Negi's not got something like the Dagon or the Netblade. So there isn't that much damage just yet. Yet Barosai goes in with most of the crucial damage missing on the side of Aggressive fight. This time he goes in, he catches out Beat Easy. Should be an easy kill.
And they're going for Arbing as well. He's going to skewer up to the high ground. The snowball, it actually takes them up on the cliff as well. A double kill for the Slark. There's another call coming out this time. It was an attempt on Blizzard's life, but he's okay for now. It's really been the story of this game so far. Entity wins the team fight, Aggressive 5 finds a few crucial pickoffs, and then they're right back in the game. But look at this, job easy. He's been spotted. There's a sentry watching him. Again, Pato with the missed call. Whiffs on a Treant Protector.
Yeah. To be fair, he was experiencing internet issues early on today. That seemed like delay to me.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if this was delay that's causing these issues. Because it does seem like he's jumping in just a moment too late. Pinkman. Jobbies, he's still just walking around providing as much vision as they can. And this really begs the question if Aggressive 5 want to pick up a gem sometime around now.
It wouldn't be too bad a choice to pick up a gem early on. But it's not that they're losing fights because of the Treant Protector. The key problem here is that there are too many Dire Observer Wards looking over the Radiant jungle and there's not a single Radiant Ward. Anyway, Pasol only now he's picked up a couple of sentries and 1 Observer.
That smoke from Entity was actually spotted out by the scan, so big props to whoever dropped it down there. They're gonna dodge this bullet. Entity will just use this smoke to get some walls placed down aggressively. But look at this. A5 are going to pop a counter smoke of their own. Prepare yourself. They're going to try and jump in here. They can't afford to go in on our Bing just recklessly like this. Jian rooted, silence, everything thrown at him. He still manages to pop a shadow dance. Stays alive for the time being. They jump in. The drop is perfect. It connects on a bunch of heroes. But where's the follow-up? They're going in with a snowball in the middle of the fray. But Entity Esports, their damage output is just too much to deal with. And they're just gonna clean house here. Pasol, the last surviving member of the Aggressive 5 race, has been destroyed. Entity Esports. Again, you know, there was no RP in that fight. There was a great drop coming out from Pasol, but their lineup just has no follow-up once the drop hits. And Entity knows this. They're not worried anymore.
if you boil this game down to just team fight, because that's all that it is, plain and simple, Entity have better team fight. They've got the root on the Team Protector. They've got the silence coming up from the Static Storm. The Sonic Wave is a great follow-up, and even if Abing lands a 2-man RP, it's more than enough. Unfortunately, I'm not sure why Paddling is getting things started. He should probably be waiting for Negi on the puck, or maybe Batasai on the axe to get the fight started. He goes in, gets rooted. There's no way he's running out of an Overgrowth and a Static Storm.
I mean, this is one of those games where an item like a mech would have added so much value on Entity's lineup. I don't see anyone that can build a mech here, to be very honest, but while they're surviving without it, they know that there's just no follow-up after the drop, right? You take a drop to the face, you're stunned for a bunch of seconds. If you're stunned, it means that the axe is not going to do any blade mail or counter helix damage either. And what are you really relying on then? A Waning Rift, an Illusory Orb? Those are not the largest sources of damage this late in the game, and they're not even guaranteed to hit every single hero that's caught in the drop.
Absolutely.
It's a lineup that's, now you start questioning where's Aggressive 5's follow-up in this in their team fight.
Yeah, while Entity have so much, I mean, they've got so much coming up from the Queen of Pain, the Disruptor, and even the Magnus. I mean, there's actually no pressure on Abing to hit wonderful RPs here, because Entity have great teamfight control, great follow-up damage to even an Overgrowth. And I think this
one of the big positives of Entity's lineup is that as soon as they pop a multiple hero RP, even if it's just 2 heroes caught in, Swifty can immediately just jump in and fire off a Sonic Wave, and that's 2 heroes instantly dead. When Blizzard pops an Omni Slash, you can throw everything you want in his area and he's not going to take any damage, he's not going to die. So essentially he dishes a truck ton of damage, and if heroes are clumped up in an RP, taking an Omni Slash with an Empower on you means that everyone's going to be taking a few hits. It's working well for them so far, and with this they're going to get Roshan as well.
Yeah, I honestly think this is one of those games where Aggressive have to pick up an early BKB, and even then that's not going to be enough. Swifty jumps in. But he's going to disengage. Yeah.
Just tried for the setup there, but decides it's not worth it. The drop is back online, so they're going to have to take a fight carefully now. What's the Train Protector on?
Swifty's even picked up an Aghanim Scepter. 26 minutes in. That's a lot of damage coming out from him.
Yeah, he's even going for the Shivers Guard next, so it's straight up AoE damage and a little bit of armor coming up. Well, Abing, he went back for the Midas this game on his Magnus. He's getting some insurance for the late game phase, but with that he's also picked up a Shadow Blade now. How's the Slock looking in terms of farm? Shadow Blade, Echo Saber, and up next he's going for the BKB. He needs that BKB. I can't really fault him for going for it. That Static Storm has been hurting him quite a bit.
Absolutely. I agree with this pickup. It's what he needs, and he's their biggest source of damage right now.
Blizzard, meanwhile, has a Blink in addition to that Manta, Diffusal, and an Aegis. He's going to be able to do some significant amount of damage on this tier 2. In fact, they're going for it. They're just going to go for this tower altogether. Did have a jump in from the puck. I actually thought he was going for the kill there. He's going for the Ags, by the way.
On whom? The puck?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Well, it works well versus the Blade Fury, not to mention the bonus duration on the Dream Coil is not a bad thing to have on your end, especially with a hero like the Slock that's your primary DPS-based hero, a hero that needs to go in and out of the fights, and the longer the fight continues, the more Essence Shift stacks he gets. But that is assuming there isn't enough AoE magic damage to control him. The Disruptor, pretty much the best source of AoE magic damage in this game. It is X-Hero Siege time now. Aggressive 5 are going to stay on their cliff and try and defend this. What do you do if you're Aggressive 5 here? How do you mount a successful defense?
I think you stay high ground. That's possibly one of the strongest aspects of your lineup with the Fatal Bonds and the drop. Hopefully, you should be able to hold off Entity from going high ground. I don't think Juggernaut is at that stage of the game where he can just walk up high ground, siege, get out. I mean, Negi's clearing the creeps rather quickly. And yeah, I guess you stay on high ground as Aggressive 5, hold on to buyback, and hope that one quick decisive buyback can change the game. Also, Paddling has completed that BKB. So the Static Storm, which was controlling him earlier on in team fights, doesn't mean too much now.
He's
And-
actually going back for the Scary next, so I can't say I agree with this entirely. I mean, they need a little more control versus the Queen of Pain and maybe even the Juggernaut and his Blade Fury. I'd have
think
liked to see a
Abyssal?
Basher. Yeah, I'd have liked to see a Basher into an Abyssal coming out for him. But as I say that, Juggernaut's the one to pick up a Basher of his own, so he's got some more control coming out.
Really like how Entity are controlling the vision here. Job Easy has got a gem on him. The Radiant have no vision outside. I mean, other than that one ward that looks over the Rune and Roshan near the Ancient Camp. But yeah, Entity squeezing Aggressive 5 out of the map and methodically attempting to go high ground. Not sure they're going to get it that easily. Nonetheless, they're grouped up around this bottom tier 2.
I mean, they've taken down the shrines, they've taken down every single outer tower, they have an Aegis in their pockets. Now is probably the best time to take some risks, and they know it as well. They're just gonna move to this bottom lane and try and make something happen. The trade-off, you have Axe actually trying to split push up top. This is ridiculous, by the way. He's gonna have to TP back immediately.
Look for Abing making plays with the skewer. That's what I'm going to keep my eyes on.
Did Negi just use a creep?
Yeah, he uled an creep or an illusion, I'm not sure.
Okay. Well, they siege quite successfully. Fortification is available, however. I know he's tempted. You can see the lust in his eyes when Jian comes forward like that to jump in and attempt to skewer. But if he mistimes it, Jian is just gonna walk out of there, and Abing might end up blowing an RP for nothing. And there it is. The tower is down. Juggernaut, one of the best sieging machines this game has to offer, with an Empower and a Living Armor on him. All he's got to do is Blade Fury and right-click a tower. He's immune to magic. He's immune to about 6 physical hits, and he's doing 7 physical hits. Sorry, and of course he does a truck ton of damage.
I guess Aggressive 5 have to pop a smoke and try and make an aggressive play, because if they just keep sitting in their base, this is going to happen to them slowly but surely. They do not feel like committing on just a Juggernaut who's sieging by himself. And if they wait, the wave is going to push in. Juggernaut is going to do that all over again, and you're going to lose your racks. Instead, you'd be much better off popping a smoke and trying to win a team fight. It sounds like a gamble, but I think it's their only hope.
But, I mean, the problem is Entity Esports' positioning is almost perfect. They're taking up these high ground spots and the spots with open entrances into the jungle. So, smoking into them is essentially signing your own death warrant. Jorbizi's almost got a Blink Dagger. They de-warded almost the entire map here. And they've got items like the Shadow Blade that allow them to walk forward and provide some vision before these fights break out outside of the base. It's a really difficult, it's a really difficult movement to make to try and get a smoke gank off of them, but I think A5's best bet right now is just defend your high ground with everything you've got. They know that the Aegis is down, so maybe they can try and commit to a fight the next time around.
Yeah. Are you sure they know the Aegis is down? Yeah, they probably...
Yeah, I'm sure they got the timer down. So you count
Yeah.
6 minutes and you know the Aegis is gone.
Okay. Well, Treant Protector has a Blink Dagger. Entity only stronger in terms of team fight now. Battling still has the Ios Cardi queued up.
Yeah, and I'm still not a fan. Top lane, Barasai is waiting here. I'm not sure why he's still here, to be honest. One Invis Treant could very well mean the death of him. But fortunately for him, there is no Treant Protector around here.
Is this something beyond Infinity you should do a lot? Try and hide in the trees and push a lane slowly but surely.
I don't know, man. I mean, is he expecting to find a solo pick off here? If he jumps
does
this Juggernaut, he's probably going to end up getting the bit slapped in the face himself.
Yeah, I mean, he's just
Juggernaut is
sitting...
probably the only one with the gonads to actually go out there and push by himself.
Wow, BDZ is building into an Aghanim Scepter on the Disruptor. So that BKB on paddling won't mean much soon enough.
Yeah, I think this is why Entity can play it slow, right? There's no real rush for them to end it. They're super strong in the ultra late game phase as well, and you
Yeah.
really don't have to rush and end this game. Uh-oh. In pain. Sorry, Negi in trouble. Overgrowth is there. It's gonna stop him. They'll glimpse him back as well. He's gonna go down here. He's got the Yules, but he's gonna come back into a Static Storm. A lot of commitment to bring down a puck there. But a much needed kill, I have to say. That said, they have the buyback.
After the mid game, everything was going fine for Aggressive 5. But that one fight which they ended up losing just because Paddling decided to start the fight and got stuck in a Static Storm is really come back to hurt them. Entity got Roshan, they got Aegis, they've taken a tier 3 as well, the mid tier 3 as well. And yeah, they've acquired a net worth lead of 13,000. And Aggressive 5 are pretty much fighting from behind now. If they do end up winning this team fight, it could be huge for them, but I just don't see it happening. I mean, there needs to be a fireman call.
Hold that thought, they jumped in. There's the RP along with the Sonic Wave. That was beautiful. He threw the Sonic Wave first and then the RP came after. So they ended up getting the kill on the Axe without him doing too much. Paddling did pop his BKB and pops his Dark Pact on the front lines as well, but Entity Esports pops the Manta Illusion, spins to win and takes a barrack. And well, I think they're happy with that. Do they really want more here without the RP? Without the Static Storm? Looks like they do. They're gonna go for the range barracks. Nope, they'll switch over to the melee ones. Jump in from the Axe. They have the Blade Mail activated, but the Yules is there to cancel off that. Meanwhile, behind, you've got a Static Storm thrown down onto the slot. They bring down A30. They bring down Axe on the front lines, and then behind they bring down the slog. I think this is all she wrote for them as Pinkman will tap out. Aggressive 5 have dropped the game while Entity Esports will finish Cycle 1 with no consequences and without a single loss whatsoever.
Yeah, and this is the only loss that Aggressive 5 had in all of Phase 1, by the way. They haven't lost a single game until this point.
This game was essentially for bragging rights, I think. I mean, they're both going to be fine going into the second cycle. They're both going to continue in the Masters League, but really this was about saying that welcome to India, Entity Esports. We are the top dogs here, but clearly Entity Esports had a counter argument to that.
More than anything, I'm going to bring it down to the draft. It was clearly a draft issue for me. And A5's draft, there was no way it was going to hold its own versus Entity.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that Tusk pick. It's sticking out like a sore thumb, and there was no follow up with the Warlock drop either. It's just really, they just picked heroes that they're comfortable with by the looks of it. Anyway, folks, we're going to be wrapping up the Dota broadcast for the day here. Entity Esports are your victors. If you guys have enjoyed, of course, hit the subscribe button on the ESL India Premiership YouTube channel, or you can follow them on Facebook as well at ESL India. If you've enjoyed our casting, I'm CloudX. I'm at facebook.com/TheRealCloudX and TheRealCloudX on Twitter, while Vivek can be found at facebook.com/VEEWAKE. That is VWake, and pretty much the same on Twitter as well. Hope you guys have had a blast. We'll see you next time. For now, this is where we wrap up Cycle 1 of the ESL India Premiership Summer.
A cold night getting warmer now. The ground shakes as our love gets loud.
Bye-bye.
Oh, bye. Hey.
I'm ready to love. We're the champions of the night. I'm ready to love.
Well, thank you, CloudX, for that amazing bit-by-bit breakdown of this intense match between Aggressive 5 and Entity Esports. And it seems like Aggressive 5's aggression somehow has been tamed by the beast called Entity Esports. People, what an amazing victory over Amazing 5. Pasolan gang seriously will definitely go back to their drawing boards and figure out where did they lose the match. Start to lose the match. Now, alright, people, this was a Dota 2 match which you just witnessed between Entity Esports and Aggressive 5. Moving on to the course of action, the final game of the day for the final day of the live stream of the Phase 1 of the ESL India Premiership 2017 summer season. Now, we have two amazing teams facing off against each other. One is a Bangalore team, Trademarc Gaming, and they will be facing off against their competitors, Team Wolf. But before we go on into the game, let's quickly take a look at the leaderboard so far. Alright, so talking about the leaderboards here. Now, in Counter-Strike Global Offensive Masters, the leaderboards, the Entity Esports is the team right now leading the pack with a 6-1 match win-loss ratio here. They've lost one and they have won 6 matches out of the 7 matches they've played. They've got 18 points in their kitty. They're on rank 1, whereas Risky Gaming is on number 2 position. 6 games played so far. They've got 6-0 as the match win-loss ratio here. They've won 6 games, all 6 of them won by them. And they've got 18 points happening in their kitty. Whereas Semperex is on 3rd position with 9 points, 7 games played, 3 wins, 4 losses registered. Whereas Trademarc Gaming, now they have 9 points and they have played 6 matches, and it's an equal look here in terms of win and loss. They've won 3, they've lost 3, and they're on number 4. Now, quickly taking a look on the Challenger League of Counter-Strike Global Offensive, people. Now, we have Blitz Gaming with 15 points, 7 games played, 7 matches played, 5 wins, 2 losses is what the stats go so far in their favor. Whereas Accuracy Gaming is on 2nd position with 12 points, 7 matches played, 4 wins, 3 losses registered there. Whereas now Too Easy Gaming is on 3rd position. They had 12 points, 6 matches played, 4 wins, 2 losses. Now JHS has 12 points. They have played 6 matches. They've got 4 victories and 2 losses. They are on 4th position. Now, quickly, let's take a look at the game happening right now in front of you, about to happen in front of you between Trademarc Gaming and the competitors, Team Wolf. Now, Team Wolf earlier had a player called Mithilev who's now joined Semperex. He plays for Semperex now, but that hasn't dampened any particular, how would I say, gameplay in Team Wolf's part, because as Wolves hunt in packs, this is one tight pack indeed. They are led by Ritesh Rich Shah. They have an interesting player called Gokul DNM Saga, who's a full-time ER doctor during the day and a pro CSGO player at night. Now, the team boasts of talents such as Amitarasu Sharma, Anuj Amitarasu Sharma, which our caster Archie Fett really likes to call Amitras for some very weird reason, but it's fun. It's all in the joy of the game. And also they have Devesh Monster Shetty also in their ranks. Now this team will need to win today's game if it wants to improve its chances to avoid Phase 1 relegation. And they'll be facing off Trademarc Gaming, which is a Bangalore-based team. They're led by Agnya Marzal Kaushik, and they're currently on position 4 in the ESL India Premiership 2017 CSGO Master League rankings. And a win today will push them further up the standings table, while a terrible loss may just push them a rung below. Also, apart from that, ladies and gentlemen, everybody joining us on the Facebook page of ESL India and the YouTube gaming channel of ESL India Premiership, well, we have one more match happening off stream. We have the UAE-based Risky Gaming facing off Elements. Now, this is like a typical top rung of the tier and the bottommost rung of the tier happening. So they are facing Team Elements in a match happening off stream. So right now we have these two teams facing off against each other, Trademarc Gaming and Team Wolf, for your entertainment, casted by Archie Fett.
time stops and we don't make a sound. You crave the love I gave, and we'll do it again. A cold night getting warmer now. The ground shakes as our love gets loud. I'm ready to love. We're the champions of the night. I'm ready to
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the final day of the first session of the ESL Masters League. Joining me today for the final day is the world-renowned, the best caster in Asia, Sudan Blair Wahengbam, also my boss. So take that with a pinch of
You're
salt.
going in deep, man. You're taking it real deep down the throat, aren't you?
Oh, what? Sorry, just clearing the phlegm.
All right.
Anyway.
But we're going live here. It's TMG. It's a Weekend Warriors, and it's against Wolves. I thought it was Wolf. When did we change it to Wolves? Like, it was singular earlier. Now it's Wolves.
I just call it Team Wolf.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. And Amaterasu.
Amaterasu. Like, how could you mispronounce that name for so long, Archie?
I asked him on Steam. He said Amaterasu. Okay, I'm like, okay, fine, cool. I'll go with that. I started off with Amaterasu. I don't know why. and now I've finally gotten it down thanks to Google.
Well, to be honest, Naruto sucks anyways. It's a pretty crappy anime in my opinion. Here we go, though. We're going live. TMG winning the 9th round, starting on the CD side. We're actually like talking about how they're going to be, preparing for Mirage. I'm like, will they let you go to Mirage? And TMG's like, trust me. They have no map pool either, just like us. And Marshall, just doing Marshall things, gets the first kill. However, he's actually getting a lot of information. He knows it's going to be an A-hit. Equitas, who's going to be standing in today for Petrichor. He is going to be playing from Ninja. The bomb's going to get planted. And this is a pretty interesting play coming out from Wolves. Equitas finds Ritz, so the bomb planter is down. Equitas just holding the line, waiting for his teammate to come in. Gets another kill. Old man Equitas getting the frags here. Flashback's going to come out once he's going to find AKs. In the meantime, Equitas caught a reloading. He's going to take his sweet time here. Playing it safe. Moon is going to get taken over. Haku. Okay, then Haku finds one. It's all done down to Monster. The bomb isn't quite planted for him, though. Haku is going to get the kill. He's got time to work with, but he's feeling very antsy here. He's going to get the kill.
I don't think he has it.
Yeah.
No.
So
No kit either.
The team kill really throwing a spanner in the works, number one. And number two, I thought he could actually get that kill on the guy in Palace. He had
I think he took a bit too long, like considering the fact that he landed 2 sweet headshots right at the beginning of the round. I think he'd be feeling his shots. And it's funny, today, Equitas isn't calling. It's going to be either Marshall or Ux. So he can actually focus a lot on his game alone. And we all know that he's a very cerebral player. So I'm really excited to see what, how his gameplay changes, because we know he has grandma aim, not even grandpa aim.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? We're not playing with Petrichor, who's been having a rough time. I think he's been having some PC issues for a while. That's at least what he told me. But keeping all of that aside, Equitas, I saw him deathmatching a bit. He's just standing in today. He, of course, with the lack of the firepower that comes with Petri not playing, they also, on the other hand, they get the addition of Equitas, who's not really calling. I think AKS or Marshall will be taking the calling duties. But, when the proverbial excrement hits the fan, you want someone like Equitas in your team. You want someone like that who's got all that experience to, take control, so to speak.
Yep, and it looks like it's going to be a straight-up B hit coming out. Ux needs to hold his ground and be a fort here, but he's going to get flashed off of Van. He has support in the form of Haku, who's playing Ninja. Will it be checked, though, is the question. Marshall does bait for him quite well. They shouldn't expect someone to be playing this close. And gangland execution coming in. But that's... unfortunate. Wow.
Man, Equitas a little late to the party, so he's going to get taken down. That... Haku's spot. So the thing with that spot is it's a one and done spot. Like you get a kill after which you're kind of trapped there. So Haku did what he could. He almost get a second kill as well. I would have actually expected TMG to keep 3 players there. there was AKS. They could have kept, I don't know, Aquitas or Marshall, one of those guys, and they could have kind of played bait. Well, Haku just, was kind of the ace in the sleeve. But instead, unfortunately, Haku had to show his hand. He gets taken down. So Wolves 2-0. We have the Macton buy coming out on Munnan.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting.
Yeah.
And drive by. Oh, Haku just managing to stay alive. Barely though. 41 points of health on him. Ux should relay to his teammates to start rotating. I think Haku would have spotted out a couple of players over by the apps. It's an interesting setup TMG have. TMG love playing the standard like 2-1-2 setup.
Not on the eco run, which is very surprising that with players like AKS and Equitas in the team, the fact that they're still going with this very default setup, especially against full eco here. So they all fall one by one. That Magden doing a bit of damage. Amitras is there to hold Equitas as well. So clean round coming out from Team Wolf. They don't lose a single man, and we might be seeing the Magdens and actually the UMP being tossed away by DNM. That's curious.
I mean, there are two players without any head armor and no kits on the CT side. This is a problem I've brought it up over and over again. The problem which I find with force buying right after a pistol loss, especially on the CT side, is going into your first gun round, you barely have any utility to work with.
It can work if you have a plan in mind, if you're aggressive, if you do something with it. But when you play defaults, when you have the the pistols and armor and whatnot, you just play defaults. It's still hard, right? I mean, you're going to be facing off against UMPs and a couple of AKs probably in the mix. You want to try something a little different. You want to try, go for a little bit of a Hail Mary-ish play, which TMG really didn't go for. But here we go. They have barely any utility to work with. No Molotovs to stop this play. Equitas spots out a man, but he's going to be blinded through. But Marshall saves his teammate, and Equitas picks up a kill, although Marshall's going to be taken by Monster. How did he even get that frag? As Ritz finds frag onto Haku, Amitras shuts down Equitas, and AKS with the trade. It's a 2v2. Advantage kind of with TMG because Ritz is internally bleeding, but Moon should be a little careful there. He just has the FAMAS to work with. They don't have a kit either, so they got to go for this retake real quickly.
And this is a good post plant. Like, I don't think they'd be expecting two players to be playing over by T ramp. And that Molotov can actually do some serious damage. And Ritz peeks out. Stick it. Yeah, just stick it. Let your teammate. Oh, that's exactly what I was talking about. Yeah.
Mons has done his job there, so Moon needs to get... Oh, there's no time remaining. There's no time remaining. He's just going to fall back. Pick up a gun on the way. You know what's been pretty interesting is the fact that... the teams, like if you look at Dare to Dream, if you look at D2D and the other teams, like if you look at the standings right now, Risky are on top. They haven't dropped a single game. I think they're playing Elements right now, which, let's be honest, should be a whitewash in my opinion. So Risky are going to go through phase 1 of the Starter Cup pretty much unbeaten. Entity have done the same thing as well. The only game they lost to was to Risky. Apart from that, all the other teams keeping Elements aside. Elements, they show some promise, but they just seem to lack the pure firepower to face up against these other teams. So they've actually not won a single game.
Yeah, like I'll tell you something about I noticed about Elements, right? So their CT side on overpass is actually commendable. Like, there are things that these teams can actually learn from them. Amaterasu died. Anyway.
AKS doing good work there at 5-7. It is a force buy coming out from TMG. They have the Emperor of Moon to play off, and now Manan is pushing towards short. The bomb is making its way towards B. Great shot there from Manan on the Moon, but Marshall with the immediate trade. Equitas out in the open. This could be troublesome. He needs to make a play. He needs to save his teammate. And now they know where Equitas is, and he's going to get taken down immediately by Monster. Leaving it all on Marshall in the site with that P250. He's going to get a kill, looking for more. DNM fighting out with Marshall. Gets taken out. It's all on Haku. We've seen what he can do with his Deagle, and they have no idea where he is. But, gets a kill. The final frags. A lot of damage being eked out by TMG here, but it was a force buy, if I'm not mistaken.
No. Just upgraded
it was just pistols and armor, yeah. So the fifth round last one is kicking in. They will be able to go for a proper buy now. And Moon having a pretty slow start to the game.
Yeah, I mean, at least he's going to avoid Her Majesty's Secret Service.
But a couple of assists there, but Wolves, great start for them on the T side here. Just continuing my train of thought I had earlier with the rest of it, I was talking about the team. So keeping Risky and Entity aside, and Elements, who are at the bottom of the table, the rest of the teams are pretty equal, like 3 wins, 4 losses. I think that's the standard here. So if Wolves wins this game, Wolves, Semperex, TMG and D2D are all going to be in 3 wins and 4 losses, which is pretty interesting.
Oh God, I don't think Equitas has seen anything for the past 10 seconds.
I think it's
a timeout.
They're asking for a timeout. I think they're going to be repeating the round.
Even Ux hasn't moved. Yeah.
Seem to be having some internet issues, but 5-0 still to Wolves.
Yeah. But I think that's the thing, right? Consistency has been a huge problem. Like, continuing your train of thought, look at TMG, for example. They're the Weekend Warriors, all right? And they've taken maps off of D2D. They haven't beaten Entity here, but they did show promise on Mirage against Entity. And they've beaten Entity in the past, and on scrimming as well, they've managed to beat them a couple of times.
I really wouldn't look into scrims.
Yeah, scrims, I agree. But then, just going by tournament standings, they did take a map off of D2D. And that was on Mirage, which is supposedly D2D's more, like, one of D2D's stronger maps. And this is what I don't understand. The consistency is a problem, which is, I think, the point you were trying to bring out, is that apart from Entity and Risky, the teams haven't really been firing on all cylinders, because, like, considering that D2D is a professional outfit, they practice.
I think, yeah, I completely agree. I think the biggest disappointment is D2D, because they're not supposed to be sitting alongside the likes of... Okay, for leaving Semperex and Wolf aside, they're not supposed to be, like, below TMG. I'm taking nothing away from TMG, but let's be honest, like, they're the one team who, they rarely practice, they barely scrim. I mean, they've been playing with standards. Like, Equitas they just come out of, like, his temporary retirement just to stand for this game. And the fact that TMG have actually had more success and have had better games than D2D have, just... you got to ask yourself, like, they might have a great in-game leader in Hellranger and whatnot, but the rest of his players, how much can you micromanage, as a captain?
Not just that, I'd also say this about Hell's setup on Mirage. I've noticed this particularly because it's the map that's been outplayed and overplayed like nobody's business, right? It's just that it's a very static setup on Mirage, and look at that Marshall just going off this round, getting
one guy remaining alive here, Ritz, yeah. But he's heading over to the B bomb site, and Moon doing the smart thing. Yeah. He's like, yeah, I don't need to take this fight. He really doesn't need to take this fight. Ritz all alone, 45 seconds on the clock, bomb dropped in the middle of nowhere. This should be the round for TMG. But yeah, as you were saying, right, like D2D, something seems to be completely off. They just swapped out one of their players for Kappa as well. I think it was Pokeref.
Is that a permanent move now? I thought he was just standing in for Poker.
I'm not sure, but there is this uncertainty when it comes to their roster as well. So, as a team, like I think they've been by far the biggest disappointment for Phase 1. And I think depending on how this game plays out, I think D2D might have to play the relegation game. D2D and Elements.
Ooh, that might just be hard. Yeah, Wolves looking pretty strong on Mirage. It is one of the stronger maps. They did manage to take it off of Semperex not that long ago in Corbex, that too. In the best of 3, it was the second map. They came back from 6 match points down to clinch the match in overtime. I mean, it had more to do with Semperex just choking, in my opinion, than some outstanding plays by Wolves. But, I mean, they showed true grit there. And, I mean, that's a mark of a team with at least some character.
Absolutely.
Nothing else.
Absolutely. Right now, the Wolves calling for attack pause early on. I actually like this pause. I'm not sure like what exactly they're thinking, but TMG just won the first gun round. They kept 4 guys alive, and Wolves immediately taking a pause. Probably trying to stop TMG from building any momentum whatsoever. Like, all right, TMG just won a round right now. Let's see what we did wrong here, and how the setup was, and let's try to make sure that for the 7th round we're kind of ready for them. And I like this pause. It's a tact timeout. It's not even a technical issue. So really let a tactical timeout from Wolves. They're not waiting for later in the game for when they're in trouble. They're actually just lost 1 round. It wasn't a big deal. Like any team would be like 5-1. We're still in the lead. No worries. But Wolves immediately calling for a timeout. I really like this, and I'm assuming it's DNM calling for this.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is DNM. DNM really likes those mind games, and considering
he loves mind games. Yeah,
like I saw him on LAN, and I wet my pants. Like, and I wasn't even playing. Just the sheer amount of exuberance and enthusiasm that emanates from him. Holy hell!
That's a very Indian old school LAN mentality. Yelling at the opponents and whatnot. You don't see that nowadays. With all the big money coming in and big stages and big audience and whatnot. Everyone's supposed to be polite and kind of politically correct and be polite to each other, say GG well play. I mean, everyone says GG, well played. That's always a given in Counter-Strike at the very least. But I really like this local lands where things get a little heated and there's a lot of yelling and name calling and a little bit of abuses as well. But it's all in good fun. Like at the end of the game, they're all going to be shaking hands and all going to be grabbing a drink together. So
Yeah.
all good. But here we go. Game resuming. Haku with the op, rattling up a few shots there.
And look at that immediate change up in play. They've gone back to what worked in the first gun round. They're going for some mid control. I don't like the fact that they're so spread apart. Like right now, there's no trade potential coming in for Manan right now. He's just all alone. Everywhere else, there is somewhat of a semblance of trade. But if someone does decide to push a ramp right now, who's this? I think that's Ritz. Ritz might just fall going untraded. But yeah, they're going.
They're going for a B pincer, I think, keeping a guy at the lower coverage shot. So AKS and Moon are going to be seeing a lot of action real soon here, unless Haku peeks out from cons. But he is smoked off, and I think they're having still second thoughts about this. But AKS immediately decapitates Ritz. Monster walks in as well. AKS got to peek out wide, quite unnecessary there for AKS, and Marshall a little late to the party, and it's all going to come down now to a 3v4. And immediately the call comes out to go for the saves. A great round there from Wolves. They took it very slow and steady. They took the pause, took a timeout. They're like, all right, this is what we did wrong the previous round. We know how they're playing. Now this is what they're going to do, and it worked out perfect. I'm a little surprised why AKS re-peeked out there without any utility whatsoever.
Yeah, that was a bit of a misplay in my opinion as well from AKS. But I think he was feeling the shot. He wanted to go for the confidence play. We all know that TMG is a very confidence-based team, right? They love to get in the groove once they start hitting a few good shots. But Marshall right now is stuck in kind of a pickle. Needs to make his way out and needs to make his way out quickly. Yeah, does manage to do so. Needs to be careful though.
Actually, I think I'm mistaken. I'm just taking a look here. And if TMG wins this game, Wolves will have to play for relegation. Wolves and Elements.
Yeah.
But if Wolves manage to win it, I think D2D will have to play. I'm not sure about it. But yeah, either Wolf or D2D have to play for relegation, depending on how this game plays out, if I'm not mistaken. So 6 rounds on board for Wolves. This has been a very, very solid start from Ritz and his men.
Yeah, but here's the thing though. TMG are playing a very static CT side till now. And I think Wolves have gotten the read on them. They've gotten the numbers down. They've seen it's 2-1-2. The mid player does relinquish mid and play over towards the A bomb side. B is ripe for the taking. And unless the B defenders come off huge and spray down 2-3 people on their way as the T's make their way towards the site, it's going to be very difficult.
Yep. And Nikita's got to go big here. He's on a sandwich. He's not really the best aimer in this lineup. That's for sure.
And he's not really holding the best position on the A bomb side. This is also one of those one and done spots usually.
Yeah. I've seen a Molotov at where he's standing, and he's going to be dead to rights, and there's no one to save him. Haku's down to 44 HP, still with a minute and 12 seconds remaining on the clock. So this is going to be tough. And DMG are playing very scared, kind of uncharacteristic, very deep Molotov from Aquitas, and I think they should know where that came from. But no, they're going to walk out straight. Aquitas spots out the first guy. Great shot there, looking for the second kill. Yes, he will find him. Monster replies back real quickly with a frag of his own, and Haku on top of Toll Booth. He's going to get the kill, almost gets taken down. But he survives an 18 HP, 2-man advantage for TMG. Bomb down Monster on top of Firebox. This is a very ballsy angle from him, and he's still going to get a headshot onto Marshall. Off with his head. And that's all down to Mun to go big, because Monster is... Oh, never mind. He's down. Monster 1v3. The bomb is dropped out in the open as well, and the smoke's really not going to help him in at all. And Haku peeks out, gets the kill. That's going to be round number 2 for TMG. Keeping 3 guys alive. However, Wolf won't be that worried. They have the money for the buy. Bear in mind, although they've won 6 rounds, a few of these rounds actually were kind of close.
Yeah, they came down to 1v2s, 1v1s. And
that's pistol round, for example. Everyone died in that round, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, pistol round economy going forward doesn't really matter that much, to be very honest. But the thing with TMG right now is that they really need to avoid losing this round, because then again they'll get reset. And I don't know. I'm Moon is still to open his account in terms of fragging. He's been kind of missing from the server right now, up till now at least. In the meantime, Haku does spot a player over by high mid.
Amaterasu. 9 HP is all he has to work with. And Niquitas, I like what he's doing. Oh, looks like it's timed out.
Timed out, yeah. Arcs.
That is a bummer. Equitas timing out, and he's done damage to Mithras. I'm not sure if they're going to have a replay of this round.
I mean, no kills. Oh, he's back. He's back, but he's made a lot of noise. The player playing Palace would have heard him.
That is Monster.
Rightly so, Equitas is falling back. Like he's made.
But look
too
at where
much.
Marshall is. Marshall pushing it. Oh, it's got the bomb as well. This could be a problem here. Marshall spots out a second guy as well. And Monster, he does get the kill onto Equitas, but 3 before. And Marshall's doing a smart thing, falling all the way back, not sitting on the bomb. Playing from default spots. Another man gets Martin looking for more. Not able to get a spray control right. Finds 2 quick kills. Saves all on a DNM in a 1v3. And a little lucky there, but Haku's going to come out and gets to kill. And again, TMG keeping 3 guys alive, slowly starting to build up a semblance of an economy. But for Wolves, we might actually see the first eco run coming out here from the guys.
Yeah, that was very well played by Marshall, I have to say. Like he just got the bomb down and did the smart thing. He didn't camp the bomb as most people would have. He fell back, got 2 more kills for the round, and essentially it was his play that got them the round. Unfortunate there for Equitas, he did do a lot of damage onto Amaterasu, but timing out and then making all that noise by Palace, he had to fall back. Like I don't think he had much of a choice going forward there.
There's gonna be the B play coming out. Moon, he's this is the first, like I think it's only started playing the B bomb set very recently. He used to play A, and until AK has kind of switched it up, he's like, you know what, why don't you try playing B? You know, you might actually get more success there, and he should be careful. Ritz didn't spot anyone, not spots a lot of people out. Now Malta's gonna come in, doing the smart thing, falling back, but here comes Ritz charging under the side, and AKS gets the first kill, looking for more. AKS gets the second one as well, but he's so very low. He needs to be covered by Moon, and the Malta's gonna keep the T's at bay. You can see the bomb out in the open. This is a round that they cannot. They just can't lose this round. Equitas finds them at Mithras from behind, lines them up, goes to the spray, picks up a triple kill, eco frags, but it's okay.
Oh, baby, you're triple. I mean, that should boost his confidence. Yeah.
The thing with Equitas is he's just not played for so long that his aim has really suffered. But right now he's doing some pretty good work. 9 frags for him, the same as AKS, Marshall on 10. Marshall's been a playmaker, Haku on 7, and Moon yet to open his account. He's still on 0 frags. In the meantime, Monster has been quite monstrous for Wolves.
Yeah, I mean, Monster just leading the charge there with 12 kills. He's top fragging the server, not only his team. Monster's been very consistent, though, in terms of fragging. Just raw fragging, he's been very consistent throughout the tournament. That's one thing I have to give him. It's credit where credit's due, right? Just blocking. I think that smoke blocks off anyone trying to, might support. Oh, Marshall, just an Arcs, just opening things up.
Marshall just pushed up apps.
Yeah, I know. He's just doing Marshall things right now.
And this is what I'm talking about. TMG, the first 5 or 6 rounds, they really were playing a little too scared, not really taking the fights, giving up too much of map control, and now they seem to have woken up a little bit. And Wolves might see some problem here.
Equitas needs to be careful. And Amaterasu beats him. Haku to the rescue there. And Equitas finds the kill onto Monster, although he gets tagged.
Ritz. Yep, Ritz making his way to a short. He can actually reach the B bomb site. He picked up the, he's got a C4 as well. And knows there's a guy in apps, but he should get the bomb down here. And that's kind of mission accomplished. It is going to be 4th round loss bonus. He is going to die. I don't see him surviving this round. Marshall with a perfect nade there. So they get the bomb down. They have 4 rounds lost bonus. So that's going to be $200. Yeah, they can go for the buy here, but it's going to be a tight buy. They can go for AKs and armor. You can see 4 guys at $37.50. So that means they can go for the AK and armor, but they won't have utility. So we might actually see pistols and armor coming out here.
We might see, armor, Tech 9s, a couple of smokes, and a fast play onto the A or the B bomb side and try and get the plant down so as to secure the buy for sure for the next round. I mean, that would be the play that most, that would secure them the most. Yeah, and that's exactly the play that they're gonna go with. 5 smokes, a couple of flashbangs, and Tech 9s across the board.
Funny thing about TMG is how, let's be honest, we talk to AKS and Petri and Equitas all the time, at work, and they really don't care. They're not really, playing to win anything or to be the best team in the country or qualify. They're like, we're not going to do anything. We're just playing for fun. And the fact that they've won 3 of the games, they've put up a pretty big fight against some of the other teams. I mean, that just goes to show how not that great, I would say, the rest of the teams are. But in the meantime, it's going to be a play coming out. A perfect flash by Equitas in the flame. Finds one, looking for one, gets the third kill as well. This guy's on fire today. One to Amaterasu, was left in a 1v4 with the bomb and picks up the M4 as well. Haku, don't be too hungry, but he's going to get the kill with the P250. The guillotine on his head, off with the head. The scores are tied. TMG, the money is looking absolutely flush right now. And now I think they've won 5 in a row here. Yep, 5 in a row. Wolves now with their own buy. We do see the AWP coming out in Ritz. Let's see where he goes with this.
I mean, he's been fairly quiet up till now, just 4 kills. And Moon still to open his account there with the frag.
Moon's having a horrible, horrible game today.
Yeah. I think it's just the positioning. He's not used to the B-bomb.
I'm not going to be too harsh on him because he rarely plays mid, but look at his aggression coming out. Haku's going to get the first kill and Mun with the reply. AKS, he just wants his trade. He's going to get the trade, falls back. He's done his job. Haku, is he going to drop down? Yes, he is. And why is Haku dropping down? That was so retarded. Your teammates falling back. And it's not like he thought AKS was still in top mid. AKS was falling back. And
right now, I can actually just imagine Ux yelling at him through TeamSpeak, but I can't really say this on stream. I know exactly what Ux is saying.
Ux is gonna be, are you retarded? In a much more colorful language, I'd say. Monster gets Moon as well, and from the man advantage now, it's a 2v2, and the defense is, well, it's not exactly split. AKS and Marshall, 2 guys you want alive in a clutch scenario. Let's be honest.
Yeah, true. But then again, Ux is not really in the pink of health, as I'd say. 41 points of health, facing off against 2 fairly potent aimers, like very good aimers on full HP with AK-47s. I wouldn't be...
Monster's actually really on point here. Timing as AK is making his way to the B-bomb side, and he's being very paranoid. Problem is, Marshall's far away, but they do have utility to work with. Is he going to... Did he not spot it?
No, he didn't.
There. But he knows it's going to be the play. Oh, what a play from AKS. Pushes out. Monster caught his pants down. Now it's a 1v1 DNM versus Marshall. And DNM, he's on 29 HP. He's just got a flashbang to work with. He's got the bomb down, however. So he has a few more seconds to get to some pretty good post-man positions. But it's going to be Marshall walking in.
DNM might just use AKS's
smoke. Yeah. He's playing this very smart. And Marshall clearing it out. He knows DNM wouldn't have had time to make his way towards the app. The timing is just... incredible here. DNM wrapping around Marshall is going to spot him out. His question. DNM is playing this very smart indeed, and Marshall has no clue where DNM is. He's going to tap the bomb. Yes, he is. Still has no clue. DNM being very cheeky, coming in from behind, and he's going to get the kill. Yes, he is. And the clutch goes the way of Wolves, and that was just Haku's round to lose, man. He really had no business whatsoever dropping down.
And that's the thing, right? Unnecessary aggression is unnecessary. Wow, much English, such wow, but still.
Deep shit, bro.
Yeah, but there's no reason for him to drop down there. I know he's smoked off, but they're a man to the good. Why throw that all away? And that too, when you're wielding the AWP, it's such a huge investment into the round.
I don't get it, because that's the thing. Ux was falling back. The only thing I can blame is lack of comms, or Haku just not being aware enough. Like, he should have known he was out in the open from mid, and Ux was falling back. He got the trade. Maybe he was thinking that there was no one else left at mid who's gonna hunt AKS.
Oh, I love this angle coming out from Equitas right now. But he's gonna fall.
Pretty tight angle. It can catch people off guard, but AKS opening things up. He's gonna get a kill. Marshall turns around to 180, takes on DNM. As TMG reply back with Avengers, but Amaterasu, he's slowly sneaking in through the smoke.
No, I think the Molotov actually blocked Marshall's vision there. And yeah, he does get taken down pretty low from, I think it was from Palace. Then AKS, he's just so aware. He knows exactly where Amaterasu is playing from and does get the kill onto him. And now it's down to Ritz and Monster. What can they do? Well,
Marshall's still shutting it down, and Haku to rip Ritz's head clean off his shoulders. 7-all, scores are tied, but 7 rounds on the T side for Wolves looks pretty solid. But then again, TMG, TMG CD side is where they really, can do work. Because the T side, he relies a lot on playmaking, and sometimes I've seen his team combust internally. Many a time when things don't work out, you'll see AKS starting to, just YOLO into the B-bomb side, just do his own stuff. And if that happens, it could be quite hard.
Yeah, I know, but here's the thing though. TMG have looked very solid on their T side, especially on Mirage. They managed to take 9 rounds off of Entity on their T side. But that was a very different T side. Petricor was playing for them, and I think Ux was calling. Back then, now it's Marshall calling. and Equitas filling in for Petri. So that takes away some of the firepower going into the T side. And
But
T
there
side
are
on
three,
Mirage.
but there are three guys in B right now.
Yeah.
I know it's not much, but going into the lead, which even just one round, it's a huge mental thing. It really helps you. It gives you that mental edge, I'd say. But nice counter flash coming out from Moon there, and here they come walking out. AK is out in the open. And he's missing all his shots, but Hawk is not missing any one of his. He's going to find 2 kills. So actually, he just finds 1, but doesn't manage to get a tag, but runs out of bullets there as Munan's going to get the trade in. It's now a 2v2. Marshall should be careful. Ooh. He knows
Marshall's
who Munan
like,
is.
like Marshall's like a phenom with the AVP. Like he's just doesn't care. Oh, he's trying the no scope. Why?
And he's getting hunted out from behind here, but it's going to be Equitas who's going to get the kill. 1v1 DNA versus Equitas, the 2 old Indian leaders, and Equitas is going to win this duel. Is the question. His playing is very calm and goes with a free fire. And that is going to be the round for TMG.
Wow.
7, a lead of just 1 round.
Now, who would have thought this is possible? Equitas with 15 kills, second top fragging on the server on his return to professional Counter-Strike. Like Equitas just proving his naysayers wrong right now.
I'm very surprised that Moon's at 1 frag and Equitas is at 15. Like Equitas at 15. Everyone's kind of pulling their own weight. 13 on Haku, 14 on AKS, 16, 15 on Marsh and Equitas respectively. And Moon on just 1 frag. That's something I honestly wouldn't have expected, to be very honest.
I know, that's true. But I think it does come down to the fact that Equitas is such a cerebral player at the end of the day, and when you give him the reins to just think about his own gameplay and not have to worry about the entire team, I think that frees him up a lot.
Ooh, absolutely. The guy, if we just talk about pure individual game sense, it's up there. It's really up there. Interesting play coming out here as it's going to be a very well clean executed round coming out from TMG. They get the frag onto Munn. Now it's a 4v5, just barreling in, smoking out CD spawn, getting the plant for connector and taking connector control. So Amaterasu is gonna have his hands full here. This is a very, very interesting play coming out. Although now they really should be taking the fight, but AK is gonna find Monster making a 3v4. They have a kid on DNM to work with, but need to clear a lot of angles here.
Yeah, this is going to be a very tight retake, especially a 3v4 retake like this. And I like Moon's positioning, but he's just not been hitting his shots in this game so far. And finally gets his second kill. Yeah, very good shot.
And Moon is just spreading butter in the smoke. It's a 1v2, but there's no time remaining. He's going to go for the knife. Yes, he is shanking through, and he's going to get the knife. No, but that's going to be the round, Moon. Well, you might have really, really shit the bed entire half, but that was a great round there. And I don't think he had a time as it was, because there was like, 2 or 3 seconds remaining, even though he had the kit. But that's going to be the round. So 97 TMG with a very, very clean execute. And I really liked what they did with the post plans. They didn't just play very passively. They made sure that the CD struggled to, get control of the bomb site again. They didn't just sit back and relax and wait, because the CDs, they have USPs, they have the aim, they have the kit, they have the smoke as well. They could have easily gone for the retake. But Moon doing some great work there, and the rest of his teammates doing great work as well, just keeping them at bay, delaying the defuse for as long as possible.
And like right now, again, the immediate force by coming out on the CTs and the sticking to defaults. I honestly don't understand this style of play. Like if you're a much more experienced player as well as a caster than I am. Could you please walk me through why this is done? But yeah, 3 players are gonna walk out into high mid, and Manan just peeking away at the worst possible moment.
I'm not sure, to be honest.
Yeah.
I look, there is a method behind all of it as well. So right now they have the SMGs, they have 4 SMGs, right? UMPs, and they're kind of playing in pairs.
Yeah.
So it's about going on a fact-finding mission here. Figure out, they know that Wolves have gone for the force buy, most probably gone for the force buy. So it's about trying to feel it out, figure out where a stack is, and even if you lose a UMP, it's fine. Unfortunately for TMG, it's not a stack; it's very default spots being held here, and AKS gets spotted out. He knows where one guy is. Actually, he knows where there are 2 guys over in B. Marshall falls out a man. He should be careful here. He's going to fall back. Moon with a trade. And Huck. Marshall, they're taken down. That's a problem, right? When it's split far apart, there's so many angles to check. And I would honestly rather you go for the just go together, use the utility. Instead, it's going to be all done Equitas 1v2. They rattled off a few bullets. He doesn't know where the other guy is. He knows there's one guy when CD spawn. Not expecting both the players to be there. Is he going to push in? Because that could be a massive problem here. And there's going to be Ritz. Perfect bait play there. And he's going to get taken down. And that's going to be round number 8 for Wolves. I agree with you. That was... I don't think that was very well thought out.
Yeah. I mean, going in pairs against pistols in these close ranges is just not... It's just not... It's ill-advised, in my opinion. Like,
I mean, on hindsight, like... You could give arguments for either case. Like, for example, if that gone for a smoke execute on an A bomb side or maybe the B bomb side, right? The CTs that have Deagles and 5.7s and P250s, they can actually use the smokes against you, right?
Precisely.
So there's no one particular way of playing an anti-eco, but that round was a way of how not to play an anti-eco, that's for sure. TMG, of course, going to go for the force. They're not a team to be bullied. They're like, yeah, we're going to force up as well. Tech 9, Deagle, a couple of P250s, and a CZ on Equitas.
Yeah, I mean, also, apart from the psychological side of things, it makes economical sense as well because the CT economy hasn't really taken form or any shape at this moment. It's still very nascent. So there's breaking potential there as well. So it makes sense for each and every team to just keep force buying until one team puts 2 rounds on the board. And actually, we've seen that at the highest level of Counter-Strike, the recent game, FaZe versus SK, right, on Overpass. We saw like 9 rounds consecutive of force buys and back and forth consistently.
Well, let's be honest. That's like some 10 levels of mind games going on here. Here it's kind of a little bit more basic.
Yeah. Oh, okay then, Haku. Just doing Haku things. That's interesting. And the B defense just capitulates there.
How did that even... Oh my god. Nice molly there from Manan, but a little too late. And this is not going to be an easy retake. You have AKS with a Tech 9, you have Marshall with a P250, Haku with a UMP, and Equitas with a CZ. And I've seen what he can do with the CZ, but ASDF, that's going to be Manan finds 2 quick kills. That's great work from him. Equitas, trapped inside of Palace. He's going to peek out. He's going to spot 2 people. Gets the first kill. Doesn't know where the other guy is. And the Monster is going to get the kill. So nice retake coming in there from Wolves. And especially Manan picking up those 2 kills was really, really good. And I think the post plans were okay for TMG. But when they peeked out, I don't think those 2 guys peeked out together. They should have probably taken a fight together instead of just, baiting each other.
That's also true. And the thing is, they should have just double peeked instead of, the peaks weren't very coordinated. At least they did get the bomb down. But here's the thing, though. You don't force buy to just get the bomb down. You force buy to win a round. And now they have to eco in earnest. I think Moon might be dropping a couple of pistols. Okay, no, he's going with the raid boss.
Yeah, that round, considering how strong these guys are with pistols, it's the B bomb side. The bomb is down. You got Tech 9, the CZs, and whatnot. I honestly expected them to win that particular post plan. But credit where it's due, Wolf with a very good retake there. It's going to be a Queen A execute right now, just trying to get the bomb down in the smoke, and Monster trying to do what he can do best. He's going to get the kill on Equitas. Marshall trying to hunt him down. The bomb trying to make its way to the smoke, but I would have rather gone for a jungle smoke there rather than the
side smoke.
The side smoke was completely fine, but I think the smoked off the top stairs as well.
Yeah.
Would rather have gone for the jungle smoke, but Wolves in the lead. It's still a tight game, 9-10. TMG now with a buy, and we have Haku on the AWP, and Moon finally getting a few kills here of his own on the T side. But for Wolves, the money's still not that great, but they are starting to build up a semblance of an economy as well. For Wolves, it's about stringing a few rounds together, ensuring that they don't go broke the second if they ever do lose a round. And for TMG, aggression from Monster.
And Moon does spot it out, and the thing is, had Moon gone for the fight, and I know he doesn't know this, but there's no trade potential here. Like, Monster's all by his lonesome. Now, finally, help is arriving. There's 4 players in mid.
And it's Monster with the UMP as well.
Yeah.
Right? It's kind of a disposable gun. Nice flashbang there. And Monster's going to peek out. He should be careful. A lot of people look his direction, but it's still going to get the first kill. Looking for more. Malta's going to rain in. And are they going to be forced back? But Haku with the op gets the kill. The Ritz. It's a dog fight over at mid here. Yeah. Marshall finds Manan as well, and he's just taking heads, asking no questions. Amaterasu and DNM left, and Amaterasu is being sneaky here. Should be careful. He actually might spot out Marshall. Yes, he will. Gets the headshot, but Moon with immediate trade, leaving all on the DNM in a 1v3 as he does get a kill on the Moon. But the bomb is making its way to the B bomb side, and TMG, yeah. This time around, I don't think they're going to lose this one round.
Yeah, and the thing is, with the money situation on Wolves right now, they can buy into the next round pretty comfortably. Even with like $1,400, they'll all be like around the $5,000 mark, and one player will be way above. One player will be on $8,400.
They can go for the buy, yeah.
Yeah. DNM's main goal right now is to do as much economic damage as possible onto TMG, whose money, by the way, is looking quite poor, to be very frank. They need to keep all 3 rifles alive. So I would have liked it more if DNM went a little more aggressive and actually played for exits.
Yeah, I guess, but at the same time, like...
I mean, I get it. I get why he's doing what he's doing. He's playing conservative. He's playing smart.
It's better to save the AK in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because more money in the bank. You want to save as much money as you can, and even if you do take away, and TMG's not really going for the hunt either.
Yeah, TMG can't afford to. They've lost as many players as they could afford to that round. To be very, very frank, they lost 2 rifles, and look at the money right now. Like they can barely scrape. Like they'll be able to drop a few guns, and they wouldn't have been able to do that had they had to buy up 1 more rifle. Is my point. They'd be struggling on the utility front of things.
Could haves, would haves.
Should haves, yeah, I know.
10-10, the scores are tied, however, TMG. Now, they've invested a lot in this round. If they lose this one, they're going to be reset completely. But look at aggression coming up from Matarasu. He's actually pushed in from underpass, but AKS ready for him. He gets the kill. TMG looking for aggression, but TMG taking a lot of damage. Ox on 56 HP, Hawk on 66, Moon on 48 as well. So, although they do have the man advantage, I don't think they're out of the water quite yet. Marshall is running in. What a shot onto Manan. The B bomb side is all on one man. Moon's going to find Monster, just falling apart one by one by one. DNM and Ritz are split pretty far apart, and Marshall, he's doing his best impression. He's doing his best. What's the guy's name from Splinter Cell? Sam
Fisher.
Sam Fisher impression. There we go.
Yes.
11-10. TMG with some plays, and it's not about them doing some crazy stuff. It's players like Marshall, Moon waking up, AKS just winning the duels, catching Wolves at the pants down, and Wolves are pretty much doing exactly what TMG did on the city side, not really going for any aggression whatsoever. They're playing this very, very passively, playing a very reactive style of Counter-Strike. And that's what happens, right? If you play so reactively and if you're playing from deep within the site, the second the site gets run over, the second it trades, even if you do get 1 or 2 trades,
I think Ox timed out.
I think AKS and Bravo timed out. But but as I was saying, like, if you play so passively, even if you get a couple of kills while holding on to the bomb site, you won't be able to, your teammates won't be able to come for the retake in time. So this is unfortunate for TMG, man. Like, they lose 2 guns. They could have actually saved all the 5 rifles with 2 players disconnecting.
Yeah, but here's the thing though also, like, I think Wolves need to realize this. The reason the TMG started picking up rounds on the CT side was not because they, did some mind-numbingly amazing CT setups. It's just because they started aggressing and fishing for information. And we all know that the aim on these guys is absolutely crazy. Like Marshall, Ux, Moon, Haku, they can hit some insane shots. But who really impressed me was Equitas, to be very honest, in that CT side. He got some nasty spray downs. Yes, they were on against eco opponents, but still.
No, the thing with Equitas is he's like I said, he's got huge, like a tremendous amount of understanding of the game. In my opinion, he has the best understanding of this game compared to any player in this country, and I'm going to stand by what I just said right now. I think he's the smartest player, but only thing is, since he's so rusty, his aim's definitely not on par. And but because he knows how to take fights, how to creep up onto someone, how to catch someone off guard, all he needs to do is make sure that his aim, it doesn't have to be some crazy Haku level aim or AKS level aim. As long as it's a decent aim, as long as he can get that crosshair on your head, that's more than enough, because he can place himself in such good positions that he can pretty much win almost all the duels. And that's, like, if you talk about players like, let's talk about Bentet, for example, right, who's playing for Tyloo right now. If you've watched him play, I've watched him play a lot. There are a lot of crazy aimers in Asia, like a ton of insane aimers in Southeast Asia and China and, the rest of Asia. But why Bentet stands out amongst all of them is because of his positioning, his individual game sense, his ability to, his knowledge to try and, pick his fights, not just go in and just rely on his pure aim. And that's why he wins all his deals. That's why he keeps dropping 30 kills every single game he plays. And that's something, of course, he's got great aim as well. Yeah. And that's the thing with Equitas. Like, you might be like, yeah, he's, you probably could beat him in a bug. You could probably destroy him in a pug. You could probably destroy him in a 1v1 or in deathmatch. But when it comes to an actual game, he is a very cerebral player. And, when he kills you, he won't take the fight. He'll be sneaking in from behind you, and you'd have no idea where he's coming from. So, Wolves now. They've gone for, well, they just have the UMP and the AK saved. Rest of them just going for the eco. That was not a well-timed flash there. Monster getting completely blinded. And it's an empty B bomb site. If Aquitas goes in and finds out, he should be calling for the bomb to make its way there. Yeah.
But yeah, they're still they have favored the A bomb site, to be honest. Actually, I don't think any of the rounds that TMG have won have actually reached the bomb site. They've just eviscerated Team Wolves in mid and then just found out the last remaining player and hunted him down. But, oh, okay, Marshall finding a quick kill, but Amaterasu getting the trade in. It's 4v3 and Amaterasu's gonna get burnt down to a
that was a very Shakespearean way of dying. Like his body, like breathing.
So dramatic. Like I can actually hear the sad violin music play in my head. It's okay. It's okay. You're not the Philharmonic. Bless.
DNM left alone. All right, I'm not going to try that again. And he's got to get... Yeah, TMG now... Let's take a look at the money real quickly here. No, not that great yet. Moon is going to feel a little too frag hungry there. And DNM, the doc, as I like to call him.
And I think now DNM has been holding on to this AK for the past 4 rounds. I think finally it gets taken out of his hands by Ux.
This round's very important for TMG. They keep 3 guys alive, and if you look at the money, 10k on Marshall, 5,800 on Moon, so they are in no immediate danger of getting reset. At 12 to 10, would you believe it?
But Moon finally nearing double digits in terms of the fragging, and Marshall just going off as always. Like he's just gone crazy.
Marshall's a player who has a lot of issues. I won't lie. Like I know many players and teams around the country. They don't like playing with him. They say he's toxic. They say he's, he doesn't operate well in a team structure or whatever. Thing is, I've spoken to this guy, and he's a very young kid. He's a very young player, but at the same time, he's a very, very cerebral player. He doesn't have experience, but he's smart. He's generally a smart guy, right? And I mean, I don't want to sound like a douchebag here, but the same can be said for many players around the country. And he's a very smart guy. So despite everything, if you somehow make him feel comfortable in the team, as long as you make him feel at home, which TMG somehow have managed to do, he can just go off. He's a monster. Like, this guy can just go off and make any map his own. He can make the opponents his bitch. Ritz with a flick shot, which does nothing. He completely whiffs it. Marshall, meanwhile, just going ham in the B bomb side. Amaterasu is gonna get the kill onto Marshall, and Marshall doing a lot of damage before he falls. And Amaterasu, and I'm not sure why TMG are running towards the B bomb side here.
They might just get clobbered. Okay, I take that back. Aquitas hitting a nutty shot onto Amaterasu there. But Ritz, he's playing a game of hide and go seek, and
that was so smart. That was so smart from Aquitas. He's like, all right, come on, I'm gonna bait myself for Haku, and that's gonna be all on a monster here. 1v3. Oh, this is looking pretty bad for Wolves.
Yeah. It's pretty dire, yeah.
It's going to be 10 to 13. They're going to be 4th round loss bonus, which means they can't go for the buy.
Nope.
And if they go for the buy, I think it's going to be a huge mistake. And I don't think DNM is going to allow that. They're going to go for an eco, and again, they could still win the round just with the eco, but looks unlikely, to be very honest. Monster is just going to try and look for some exits, hold on to the M4A1 of his. But TMG, again, keeping 3 guys alive. Money is looking very good as well, and this has been a pretty interesting T side.
Like I said, their T side is actually pretty impressive. They managed to take 9 rounds off a team of Entities caliber. They're a salaried, regular team, and that's the op-off. Oh, that's actually a lot of damage coming in from Monster right about now.
But it's really not going to affect them. $9,000 in 3 players. They don't give a shit right now. They just want to close this out.
Yeah, but considering the fact that that $9,000 can evaporate, not on the T side, agreed, quite fast, I would be concerned. Look at that. They'll be able to buy into the next round. Yeah, they will be able to buy into the next round. Haku might have some trouble.
Haku's just going for the op, and I wasn't expecting that once he lost to AWP, but why not? I mean, he's making some plays with the big green gun of his.
Yeah. But now the question is, will TMG be expecting this force buy? And there is a fancy boost up mid.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of this from Wolves. If they lose this round, They're gonna force again, and it's gonna be $3,400. Maybe okay, you might get kill bonus of $300 or something like that, but it's not gonna be enough. You need utility. You need those Molotovs to keep the T's at bay. And TMG are the defaults right on the T side. It's very, very good. Like if the CT is aggressing right now, they're just gonna walk into like 2 or 3 T's looking the direction.
Like right now, the thing is, if they lose this round, they're gonna get stuck in an eternal like vicious cycle of saving and Amaterasu really needed, but he really needed to land that kill actually to make that boost worth the while. Doesn't do that much damage, but DNM in the meantime does find him, so that's good. 4v5 man advantage.
Even if this force buy works out, now here's a worrying thing for Wolves. Even if this force buy works out, if they lose too many players, TMG can still buy the next round. Remember that. And if they lose too many players, the money is going to be non-existent. I mean, sorry, if they lose too many players, then they won't have much money, and they can get reset the second they lose the next round. So this is a very risky, very crucial round here. Oh my God, Equitas aiming way beyond his years. He's some nasty shots right now. 2v3 as AKS is going to find DNM, but Amaterasu is going to line up on AKS and Haku. And they keep 3 guys alive with 3 rifles. That's huge. And they pick up the AWP as well. That's going to be 13-11. Wolves get 1 round back. But again, the money's still not going to be great. It's CD side economy. You need to buy all the utility. You need to try and, keep the T's at bay. So if you look at the money here, Monster, Gok, DNM. Yep, they're going to buy up. So let's see. Monster has $2,300 remaining, $1,000 on Amaterasu, and $1,500 in ASDF, or Manan, as it's more commonly known. It's not that much. If they lose this round, they're going to get reset. But then again, so is TMG. So
yeah, it's a must-win round for both teams. And I'm a little bit annoyed that TMG are still sticking with that default play over by mid, that committing 3 players to high mid and trying to wrestle mid control. I would have liked it if they tried something different, because the setup that Wolves have right now is kind of countering this mid play coming out from TMG, to be very honest. They have 3 players over by B, the 2 players playing very passive by A, except for, Monster, who's watching now what I'd like to call the triangle.
All right, you don't need to massage his ego anymore.
All right, fine.
And Iquitas is going to be on the low coming through Palace. Should be careful. Monster's holding a very tight angle, but 1 tap from the AK-47. And Pra's going to be singing with the Angels. It's going to be an A-hit coming out.
Oh, that's so smart. So smart.
I don't think he was expecting Monster to be there. I think he was just expecting the off. Royale up a shot. Monster's going to get the first kill. Equitas needs to do some work here. He's going to come out, but Monster doing huge work. Finds 3 kills. Monster on the quad kill. And all of a sudden, it's all down in AKS. Monster just living up to his name. That's a huge... Oh, bummer.
Yeah. Giggity. And that is extremely unfortunate there. And the fact of the matter is the round will not be replayed because the kills had come in.
To be very honest, I don't think even if he had survived, even if AKS didn't time out there, I don't think they would have been able to pull off anything. That looked very unlikely.
Yeah, the thing is, this is one thing I've noticed. Nobody checks under Palace. This is something especially wrong with D2D's A-side takes. They never check under Palace. They just get mowed down from the player, always playing under Palace. And this time again, they fell prey to the same mistake.
I mean, they still had utility. They could still used it instead of walking out. Monster getting 4K there really shouldn't have happened.
It's inexcusable, right? Like one player.
I knew where he was as well. AK's, spotted him out, but we do have, technical timeout getting called here as AKS and Equitas. We're timing out. Seems to be having some power issues, or I don't know, some internet issues over at
HSR,
where they're all both playing.
Do you want to turn your attention over to chat, because there's a lot of colorful? Do you want to turn your attention over to chat, because
why?
Something
No, I don't want to, stain myself with opinions of idiots. All right. Why? What's happening? What's happening? Go on, tell me.
So I'll tell you. So there's Ankit Dehedia. Ignore casters. They are shit with their MG opinions.
Okay.
Then there's Viper Z. TMG is a good team, but the casters always underestimate them.
I underestimate them because we work with them every day. Like, I work with AKS and Patrick Core and Equitas every day at work. I work with them. It's so strong. I keep making fun of them. And yes, I will underestimate them because They underestimate themselves. I'm like, AKS, what do you think about today's game? He's like, if I get to 7 rounds, I'm happy. That's the mentality they have going into these games. They really don't give a shit. So yeah, I mean, yeah, you can go take a hike.
Well, we would have used much more colorful language had you met us in person, but you know, never mind.
No, it's fine. We're nice guys, Archie. we're pretty nice guys.
Yeah, we're very nice. We're cuddly. We're teddy.
I've actually seen, like, you know, when I was casting the ESL Premiership last year, I've seen some teams where they had Dragon Lores and, you know, Doppler Shift 4 or whatever. I don't even know. I really don't care about, you know, skins that much, but I've seen some of these players with Dragon Lores and whatnot, and they were abysmal with it. Like, I just cannot understand the mentality about having really nice skins but not playing the game. It's kind of like having a really hot girlfriend but just taking pictures of her and not doing anything else with her, if you know what I mean. You know, it makes no sense whatsoever.
Agreed, but Marshall to spot out Manan. Can they not just use their monikers for?
They have a one flashbang, and they're going to be using that to burst into this bomb site. AKS with a Tech 9 and the Kevlar. Equitas, what's he trying to do? Are they going to be trying a double fake is the question, but that could be expensive. Flashbang. Yeah, here comes the flash. Manan's got a great angle here, finds one, but Haku's going to immediately rip his head clean off his shoulders. Equitas going to get a kill as well on the lurk, on the way over at the A bomb site. And Amaterasu is alone here.
The backup is fast on its way, and there we go. Bombs down. Everybody's dead.
I really like what Amaterasu did there. He stayed alive for as long as possible, ensure the bomb didn't get planted. Because for TMG, the mission statement for that round was just get the bomb down, get a little bit of extra money in the bank. That's about it. And they couldn't get it done. Amaterasu doing great work staying alive for as long as it did. 13, all the scores are tied. This is a pretty tight game. The final game of Phase 1 of the ESL India Premiership Masters League.
Yeah, I mean, there is another game happening off stream, which is Risky versus Elements, but let's be honest, Risky's just...
I think that one...
They're just too good.
I think it was 16-2 or something like that. I feel a little bad for Elements. I mean, they were invited because they managed to qualify in the Challenger Cup last year. Mm-hmm. But I'll be honest, like, they had Mad playing for them back then. Mad, who used to play in Virtual Impact with DNM. And they got a little lucky because most of the so-called better teams actually finished their games in the first Challenger Cup, so they couldn't play in the second Challenger Cup. That's why they managed to qualify, right? And they seem to be a little bit out of the depths here, to be very honest.
Yeah, it's been clearly evident. They don't have that deep a map pool, but let's be honest, most of these teams don't have a very deep map pool. But the thing is, they're just getting out-aimed in most of the maps. They're just getting outplayed and out-aimed in most of the maps that they're taking part in. The one map that I would say that they're absolutely amazing on is Overpass. And Haku needs to be careful. Does get spotted out going into connector. That's information relayed to his teammates that there's... And look at this monster playing that infamous under Palace position. I wonder how many kills he'll land this time around. Hopefully not much, because bomb is still rotating. Yeah, it's making its way back to the B bomb site. And did AKS walk all the way? Yeah, he did, but B-shot player would have heard him. And Vance is still managing to get one kill.
Haku's out in the open. I'm not sure why he's doing this, but he's going to get taken down, leaving all on the moon in 1v4, and it's going to be DNM shutting him down. Nice hold over the B bomb side. Great comeback in the particular round for Wolves. They lost the first man, but TMG not able to get a single kill after that, which is pretty heartbreaking for TMG, because the money is kind of broken. They do have the fourth round loss bonus kicking in, and they might have to play for overtime here. A force buy at this juncture might not be the most ideal scenario.
What is eco? Bleh. What is eco? I do not know this term.
They
did force.
No. It makes sense. It makes sense.
They'll get a full loss bonus. They're gonna get a buy into the last round, but
they will have to play for overtime here.
Yeah.
As Monster playing up close. He's expecting a push through the smoke. He's got a Molotov, and that's actually going to force him out. Perfect flashbang as well, but too many people shoot at. Monster's not going to get anyone this time around. But Ritz with the op, playing very passively all the way back from CD spawn. He's not going to spot anyone out. Amaterasu is going to get the first kill on the moon. 4v4 here for TMG. Oh, yes, dancing out with the Tech 9, looking for more here. Gets another one. gonna fall, and this guy just holding W with the Tech 9 and destroying everyone in spot, looking for the third kill of his, and it's gonna be all down to Ritz, who picks up the op, and he gets one frag. He needs to find 3 more, but the bomb is planted, and the Molotov raining in as well, and TMG off the back of just Tech 9s and armor.
And Marshall, yeah.
Almost kind of whiffing that Marshall, but he gets a flank in. They get 2 AKs AWP, and the scores are tied, and Wolves will not get to map point. That was just Ux going off.
Yeah, and this is something they did to D2D as well a couple of nights ago when they played them. They won on an eco, on a force buy, a half buy, and with the momentum they garnered off that win, they just saw the rest of the game through. They won that 16-14. It was a fairly close affair. And I remember Ux being just so happy about it that we beat a proper team just off of momentum. These are the things that give me joy about Counter-Strike, right? These plays, these rounds.
The thing is, TMG, they beat D2D 16-14 on Marshall.
He needs to be careful.
He has no route of escape here, and he just has one opportunity to land a shot. He's going to fall back. Very risky play for Marshall, but he will not take any damage.
I think he did some damage over to Manan there with the wall bang. No scope.
Careful that data. And Marshall should be careful, because this guy's pushing all the way top, and it's going to be Amaterasu. He's going to get the kill on the moon, falls back. So I was talking to AKS after he... took down DNM. Took down D2D.
D2D, yeah.
Earlier. And I'm like, good game. He's like, no, man, this is the worst game of Counter-Strike I've ever played in my life. I'm like, why? So, Ux is a guy who really likes playing Counter-Strike, but he likes playing Counter-Strike the right way, and he hates this entire back and forth, losing eco rounds, winning anti. Like, he gets depressed when he buys a Tech 9 and he wins a round for his team. He gets depressed. He feels sad. He's like, not supposed to win that round.
In the meantime, Monster finding yet another kill from under Palace, and it's down to a 5v3, and they don't really necessarily have the money going into the next round. Ux does get 1 kill though. Needs to be careful. Raid spraying away. Falls. Haku does get
There's still a guy. There's still a guy. There's still a guy in... Oh, Monster. Come on, Monster. Oh my god, that was horrendous.
Oh,
DNM. To the rescue.
I mean, DNM's spray control with the M4, like I saw him on land, it is just miraculous. It's just magical.
DNM's actually really stepped up in the past 1 year when it comes to the aiming department. When he used to play for VI, he was, I wouldn't call him the bottom fragger, but he was the weakest aimer in the team. Like when you had players like Shifu, then there was Fufu, there was a lot of Fufu names there, and there was also Snorlax and all these guys playing for his team. He didn't really have to do much when it comes to fragging, so to speak. So he's actually done a lot of work. He's actually put in a lot of work. In the meantime, it's gonna be Ritz opening things up. He's gonna fight Marshall.
Yeah, and there's a Trademarc Gaming, right? That's what you call them.
That's what they call themselves. No, that's Ux's name for his team, TMG, Trademarc Gaming. But I don't think it's been throw per se. They won some rounds they had no business winning. They lost some rounds they had no business losing. But it is going to be 15-14. Wolves on map and match point. Can they hold on for one more round is the question here. Monster's been just truly monstrous this entire game. 28 frags for him. And it's still very much alive.
I'm surprised Equitas did as well as he did. He hasn't played in a long time. I mean, he hasn't had a PC for the past 2 weeks, for crying out loud.
I did see him playing some deathmatch yesterday. So he's been playing Counter-Strike after couple of weeks now.
Yeah. But playing a game of Counter-Strike, a competitive game of Counter-Strike at this level and deathmatch is just too very...
I think it's just warming up, basically. I mean, the guy knows how to play the game. The player who's kind of let his team down a little bit, I don't like pointing fingers, everyone has a day and whatnot, but Moon has just really not turned up today. Apart from 1 or 2 rounds, where he, like the pistol round, for example. Apart from that, he's just not done much here.
True, but I mean, like you said, everybody has their days, and that Molotov going to a place where there's nobody, and look at that, Manan and DNM just mow through them in the end.
Slightly anticlimactic at the end there, 16-14 to Wolves. I thought it might go to overtime. I was preparing myself for that, but yeah. I wonder what I think now, Wolves winning means, I think, is it Elements is playing relegation now because they lost all their games. Now, is it D2D or is it Brutality who will be forced to play a relegation game? That's a very curious question.
Let me just take a look over to the table right now. ESL Pro League.
Yeah, it's brutality.
It's brutality. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. The team with the biggest fan base will have to play relegation. That is gotta hurt a lot of fanboys.
True, but then again, they didn't turn up towards the beginning of the tournament, and unfortunately,
They had a very slow start. They took a while
Yeah.
to wake up in the tournament as well. But yeah, there you have it, ladies and gents. Phase 1 of the ESL Premiership Summers Masters League is done with for now.
Yeah.
And wow, that was a long ass name.
Risky Gaming flawless, and Elements also flawless, but two very different mirror images. Scoreline 7-0-0-7. Entity Esports second, Semperex 3-4, TMG 3-4. So yeah, they've more or less secured a position in the next phase as well in the Masters division. Unfortunately, it's going to be Brutality who'll have to fight out with the winning team of the second team in the Challenger division for their spot in the Masters. Anyway, guys, that's all from us tonight. Hope you guys had fun. We certainly did. And
I'm
we'll be
gonna
back.
so make fun of AKs tomorrow. It's gonna be so much fun.
Well, that's all on you. But that's up to you. But yeah, we'll be back when the next phase begins. So until then, good night and have a good day. Night, whatever. Have a good time. Bye.
GG.
Champions of the night. Can't tell if we're dreaming now. We watch as the fight falls down. One thing playing on our minds. Time stops and we don't make a sound. You crave the love I gave, and we'll do it again. A cold night getting warmer now. The ground shakes as our love gets loud. I'm ready to love. We're the champions of the night. I'm ready to
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this sets the game up. This sets the game afoot also because this match of Counter-Strike Global Offensive between Team Wolf and Trademarc Gaming brings us to the end of the Phase 1 officially of the ESL India Premiership 2017, the summer season, brought to you by Omen by HP, Zowie by BenQ, HyperX, and organized by Northern Gaming. Now, the scoreline roughly, to sum it up all, is Team Wolf secured 16 points against Trademarc Gaming's 14 points. Now, I did mention we did have one match going on off stream between the top rung in the tier, which is Risky Gaming, versus Team Elements, the bottom rung of the tier. Now, Elements versus Risky went as everybody would have expected it to go. Risky Gaming secures a win 16-2. The final scoreline is what it read at the end. So, ladies and gentlemen, officially, I might as well bid you goodbye from today because it's the day 14, final day live stream of the ESL India Premiership 2017 Phase 1. The Phase 2 registrations are already open if you want to take part. The link should be on the screen right about now. All you got to do is follow the link, register for the games you want to participate in, and then you are a part of the ESL India Premiership 2017. Remember, guys, on the weekend, we're going to have the promotion relegation process. The matches are going to be played, and then once when the weekend gets over, we're gonna see and find out over the course of the weekend who gets promoted on to the other leagues, the higher tiers, the higher leagues, and who gets relegated down the road towards the lower leagues. Well, this is me, Vagish Gotslevhan, signing off for today. But don't forget, we are just going to be back around the corner. So keep yourself tuned into the Facebook page of ESL India for more updates, the YouTube gaming channel of ESL India Premiership for more fun content, because we're going to be back with the phase 2, and this time around, this stuff is getting serious. Cheers.
Can't tell if we're dreaming now. We watch as the fire falls down. One thing playing on our minds. Time stops and we don't make a sound. You crave the love I gave, and we'll do it again. A cold night getting warmer now. The ground shakes as our love gets loud. I'm ready to love. We're the champions of the night. I'm ready to
Personalize the way you see everything, and then conquer. Exclusive Black Equalizer brightens dark scenes without overexposing bright areas. Use the S switch to quickly access the setting and switch between save modes. Adjust the angle effortlessly for maximum comfort.
gave. It